I wasn't even in the drama department. I didn't
that's
even know where that building was.
All right, it's another edition of KFC Radio on the Barstool Sports Network. Big one today for you. Charlie Sheen, Carlos Estevez on the podcast. I think this is our biggest star ever.
He's got
Right?
like of all like
Out of everyone we've done.
obviously he's not the star he was
Yeah.
when he was 2.5 Men, when he was in Platoon and all that stuff. So like I guess you have to factor that in. But who had the greatest star power at their peak? Gotta be Charlie Sheen.
Gotta be Charlie Sheen. And I would almost say that what he's doing right now is like, I mean, I guess you can't say he's back to that level, but it's not like we got some guy, oh, you used to be a big and now you're like quiet.
No.
It's like
That's not what I'm saying. But he's
yeah.
just not like Timothée
Right.
Chalamet anymore.
Right. But I think we're about to see, a resurgence, and
I hope so.
Yeah, I think Charlie's back, and for our purposes, like, we love movies and entertainment, TV, internet virality, like, got his demons, tells his truth. Like, I don't think I could think of a guy more up our alley.
Oh, bigger for our
Yeah,
absolutely.
for sure. Well, I was also just trying to think, like, I usually tell people Chris Hemsworth is the biggest star we got.
Probably.
I think Chuck beats him.
In terms of like story, people you want to ask questions.
Yeah, well, definitely
Right.
that. I love you, Chris, but like, just we were just like,
Well,
this is so
I wanna
fucking
kiss you.
hot.
Yeah.
We can talk if you want, but if you want to move this to the bedroom, that's fine too.
Right. I
What
mean,
about
this-
Wahlberg?
Wahlberg was Wahlberg
But
and
Hemsworth
Hemsworth are kind of like
yeah.
I just think of like he's fucking Thor.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, right.
And so I think if you put like Charlie Sheen and Chris Hemsworth next to each other right now, there's probably a whole bunch of people who are younger who are from like the Marvel universe, but like in terms of spanning ages and demos and talent and history and story, all that, he's at the very least, I'll say this: the most compelling guest we've ever had by a
Yes.
fucking
Yeah,
mile.
yeah.
You can argue Q scores and all that shit, but as far as compelling like storyteller guy, number one with a bullet.
And just as great a dude as you could have, just hanging around.
Yeah, no,
He's
but
just
really,
fun
right?
bopping around.
Yeah, like and,
so gracious, taking pictures with everyone, and like I'll say this: I had to duck out of the interview with like 5 minutes left because I had to get to my sister's rehearsal dinner, and then I assumed because we'd already run a half hour late with Charlie.
Yep.
That I was like, well, there's no way he's gonna be taking pictures because I knew a bunch of people had wanted pictures with him.
Yep.
And then like
still took
6 hours later, I get home, I'm looking at my phone, I'm like, oh, he still took all those pictures.
You know what they
despite
got to
staying
do?
with us a half hour too long, which again he did that out of out of the kindness to us. Stay with us for a half hour too long, and then took pictures with everyone.
they were so mad. His publicist.
Oh,
his
yeah, I bet.
They were very cool. They were not like rude in any way, but they were like, we gotta go. And then this is where I know like Charlie's a really good dude. Tim Montana is the guy who connected us.
Yes.
He's a country singer. He's a fan of Barstool. Worked with Charlie, and that was our middleman. That's how this all came about. You'll hear it in the podcast. Charlie explains it all. But Tim flew in like for this to see Charlie and to come here, and he was sitting off camera for a long time. And then he was like, "Can we bring Tim on?" And I was like, "We can do whatever you want, but they're telling me you got to go."
Yeah.
And he was like, "We got 5 minutes for my man who like flew all the way in here," and he came on, and we just did a quick like 5 minutes about like their history and stuff. But
Another great dude, Tim Montana, texted me over the weekend saying he had a fun time and he's gonna send me some goodies he's got from out in Montana.
He's an awesome dude.
Just a great
The
great
beat off
couple
cabin.
people.
The beat off cabin's one of the funniest things I've ever heard. We'll have to have a Tim Montana episode at this point. But the fact
Honestly,
that
we're gonna have a Tim Montana. episode.
no, for real. He might be the second most compelling guy we've ever talked
Dude,
to.
all weekend I was at a wedding, and obviously I was talking a lot about. I was like telling people, I was like, yeah, I heard Charlie Sheen the other day. And then what would always come up after that is I would be like, and you got to hear about his boy Tim Montana. I was like,
Living
this
with
dude-
no internet or
I was like,
electricity
this
for
dude
18
did
years.
in Butte, Montana no electricity for 18 years.
But the fact that he politely but very sternly was like, "We have 5 more minutes. Don't worry. I'm bringing my man on." You
Yeah.
know, and he's just like it's a very strange. And I won't say too much here because we do speak about this in the interview. But one of the weirdest dichotomies and dynamics I've ever seen is someone who is undoubtedly the most not normal person ever. Like you could make the argument like number one most unique. No one can relate to him type story. Like, yeah, sure, there's other celebrities who partied, but like no one did it at his level, all that shit. but simultaneously a very normal guy. And it made me realize that like normal is like a thing. And you can be cool, but not normal. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but it was just like, there are guys who you meet and you're just like, that guy's really cool and nice, but like, it would be a little weird to just like sit on the couch with him, watch a ball game with him, whatever, you know?
Yeah.
Charlie's like the total opposite. Like, I could put on a Cincinnati Reds game with that guy and watch fucking and just chat it up, you know?
Speaking of fucking baseball, because we start the Charlie interview with we're talking some baseball. I didn't know this. I was, again, talking about him at the wedding, and someone, I think it was my dad, told me that, like, during, maybe it was the 80s or 90s, him and one of his boys bought all the right field seats at Wrigley. Just to catch home run balls all day.
At a game?
At a game, and no one hit a home run that day. So it was just like Charlie and his boys sitting in right. I everything I heard like through my dad, so I haven't Googled any of this, but it was something along the lines of that I was like, oh man, we were talking baseball. I would have talked about that with him.
I don't even want to Google that in case it's like an urban legend. I want to believe that's true. What a hack. Just buy like 800 tickets. Just buy all the whole section.
Right field. We'll definitely get a home run ball then, right?
What a move.
Would he do it to sell the home run ball or just to like have it?
I think he just wanted to
Charlie
catch a home
Sheen,
run.
he is a baseball guy. We talk about that as well. Like you got to be a different type of guy to watch baseball like the way, you know, diehard fans do. And I'm sure there's going to be about 50,000 things that people say to me. Well, how did you not talk about this? Or how did you not bring up that? It's like, dude, I wanted to try to do all of it.
Yeah.
We had what, an hour that turned into an hour and a half, and I probably needed 9 more in order to tackle everything. The only thing I will say for sure that I missed is I was going to have Jacqueline come in halfway through the interview with a cup of ice. Have you watched the documentary at all? There's a scene where he explains that one time he was partying while he was working, and he was either so fucked up or so hungover or whatever that the director was like, cut! Charlie, you're literally falling asleep on camera. And he was like, all right, let's take a 5-minute break. I just need a cup of ice. And I was like, I'm thinking, oh, he's about to do like, you know, pour it in the sink and put your face in the ice, whatever. Took an ice cube, popped it right up his ass. just to give him like a, whoop, I'm awake now. All right, let's go. Action.
What?
And so I wanted you to come in and like, Charlie, you look a little tired right now. Here's a cup of ice for you. And that was the only thing that I really regret not hitting on. There's a bunch of other topics, movies, everything's stories that we could have done another hour on easily, but you know, there's only so many things. And I also don't like to wedge shit in. I'd rather let the conversation go than be like, one more thing. But yeah, I think he's one of the most compelling people I've ever been able to talk to. And truly, and I'm not just saying this because people say this all the time about guests, especially big guests, but you'll hear when the way that me and Charlie connected and the amount of talking I've done with him, actually, I mean this, like the most genuine and nice interaction I've had in this business.
Yeah.
I've had most guests come and go. It's a transaction. You got your promotion. We got views. Then there's some guests where it's like, wow, that guy was great. Then I have like friends. But I really don't think I've ever had anybody reach out the way he reached out and was like, thank you, and I'd love to do this, and let me come to you. And then was gracious during the interview and afterwards. And like, you know, we say this about Kevin Hart all the time. He makes us feel special. And it's like, I think Kevin Hart's a great dude, but I also think he knows how to make people feel special. Yeah. And maybe, for all I know, Charlie is just the best at that. But it felt like there was some genuine, you know, interest there, you know? Yeah. And for someone that big who's like, you know, that guy could easily be like, I'm Charlie Sheen and you're fucking not. You know, get out of here. He was a really good dude.
Do you get the idea that he was always like that, or because of like what he went through, he's got
probably a little bit
genuine.
of both, but it does seem in reading the book and the doc, it seems like he always like treated people right, you know. I think he had his issues with drugs and women and marriage and work and all that, but like at least from the stories that are out there, you know, I don't think there's many people who are like Charlie Sheen was a bad guy to me.
He's a bad person.
It's like he was
and never
fucked
again.
up and you know.
Like,
I mean, listen, there are some other rumors out there that I'm like, I don't know, but like, but for the most part, it seems like you partied too much and you were like irresponsible at your lowest and all that. But it's not like, oh my God, that guy's the biggest prick who like treats little people the wrong way.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
right.
But yeah, so Charlie's on the show. Great interview. I will say, great timing. It did feel good to directly after being called out by a coworker. Like, what do those guys even do here? It's like, you go do you. I'm gonna go interview Charlie Sheen. that felt pretty good. But yeah, Pat Bev said we're trash and we don't deserve to be on the list, and we don't go viral, we don't get views, and we're only big in our little world, or whatever the fuck he said.
I saw this and it kind of bummed me out because I
Totally bummed me out.
don't know what I'm gonna say. I like Pat Bev.
Good dude.
Pat Bev's a fun coworker to have, like despite the fact that it's obviously the worst contract in Barstool history, and clearly he's gotten that message, and that's why he has to be here a lot more often now. I fucking like him. I don't know, I'm having a hard time pulling this up, but it doesn't bother me that everyone he's ever worked with says he's a nightmare and doesn't even understand the basic idea of what this job is, and that they think that working with him is clearly a waste of their time and energy. Like, that doesn't affect me, so I don't fucking care.
It's good that you don't care.
Yeah, I think he's got a bubbly energy to him. It's like
Love gang. Hashtag love gang.
I genuinely like when he's in the office.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think you can find me on this fucking show, in this couch, saying I love Pat Bev. I like the Pat Bev pod clips where, like, Rowan says something interesting and insightful, and then Pat Bev goes, "Achoo." Like, I think those are fucking good clips. I think I've said like, you can find me sitting on this couch going, those are good clips. I'm sure other people would say that's the job of a soundboard, but I fucking think Pat has good energy to him. I don't know why Jackie's laughing so much. The only thing I'm saying that I want to resonate with people is that I like Pat
You're
Bev.
a Pat Bev guy.
I genuinely have fun when Pat's around, and I hope his new show does well, because I think all tides, all rising tides raise
lift
all ships?
Yeah.
Probably not a sign that the NBA season starts today and that show still hasn't been announced, right? Probably a good sign that everything's going swimmingly with Pat Bev, as it always is, right? If I had to guess, that would be the reason things haven't come to light yet. But I'm rooting for him. I hope
He's a great guy.
I hope the show does well, because it's probably his last shot in the media world, right? I don't think the ESPNs are like, who sucked shit at Barstool for 3 years and stole money from Dave Portnoy. Let's hire him, right? Probably this is his last chance. Otherwise, because Michael Porter Jr.'s in the rear view just fucking coming up. So I hope that this show does well, Pat. I hope that it is not like every other stop for your last half decade where everyone forgets you even came, where the ownership group is disappointed and the fan base is left unfulfilled and you achieved and accomplished nothing. I hope that doesn't happen on this show, because I fucking like Pat Bev. I hope he's in the office more often. I hope he does sketches. I hope he works. Like, I want to work with Pat Bev. I like him. So I don't know. That's all I got to say about the matter.
Not much to say. We just wanted to touch upon it quickly. Yeah. I mean, ditto. I echo John's sentiments.
I'm looking at him right now, but he's the man, though. He's the fucking man. I like him a lot. Everything I said is true, but I really like him. But I could have said, like, there are yellow cabs outside. That's how factual everything I just said is.
Statements.
But I fucking really like him, and I hope he's in the. I hear he's gonna be on The Office more. I hope he is. I hope he does some out of order sketches. I hope we have fun. I like Pat Bev.
You should just do an out of order sketch where he just throws balls at old women's faces. We're just here for a quick cameo.
Like, even that
Bam!
clip, even that, I think that's a funny ass clip. He's like, let me get that ball back. Let me get that ball back.
Do it
Bang!
again.
Again.
Twice. 2 times. He also, I guess you almost got to give him a little bit of credit for awakening the monster inside of Francis. Francis is a great talent all around, and then when you tap into his psychosis, he goes up a level. He's in war mode right now, and Francis, when he's angry, is like actually scary, like straight out of a horror movie. I told him he needs to take his war mode that was started by Pat Bev and apply it to the John Gruden driver. Did you see that clip?
No.
John
Oh,
Gruden
yeah.
took an Uber to the airport, and the guy drove on the shoulder the entire way. And of course, Gruden's like, "This guy's crazy. He's getting me in there in time, though. He's amazing." Doing the whole Gruden
Dude,
thing.
we had back when I still lived in Boston, we had a fucking. It wasn't an Uber driver. He was like Uber wasn't even really hot yet. Like it was probably like 2012, something like that, right?
Mhm.
I don't think Uber really got going until
No,
after that.
that's early, yeah.
But it wasn't an Uber, but it was some driver who we'd linked up with, who we would call on Sundays to bring us from Boston to Gillette. Because the traffic would get so bad, and we knew he didn't give a fuck. We wouldn't call this specific guy because he's just gonna ride the shoulder. Who cares?
There it is. Look at this. I mean, he's just. I thought it was a lane. I thought it was just a lane.
Is this in Chicago?
Yeah.
Bro,
Yeah.
Gruden, get me this guy's number because the fucking
You need it.
The drive from O'Hare to like downtown Chicago is a nightmare. But every time you're like, well, that shoulder's looking mighty open.
How about the time that we almost died when we had the drunk driver?
Oh yeah, yeah.
We got into an Uber, and within 2 minutes, me and Fights both accepted that our driver was drunk.
And it's
And
just
we-
in his
Was this the
hands
one
now.
with
But we were
Training?
late. We were like, we're gonna die or we're gonna be late.
Dude, I've gotten an Uber more times than I can count.
I
Not
was gonna
count.
say,
but
I feel like me and you have done that too. We were like, we got out. We were like,
Oh,
that
in
woman was
LA.
shit-faced.
that was
Yeah.
hammered.
It was a woman.
There
that
was
did it, right?
L.A. I've had it in Jersey. I've had it in
It's like,
Austin.
the whole point of this is to avoid drunk driving.
Yeah.
I could have done this by myself, guys.
Yeah, but hey, DUI's on you tonight. That's
Not
fine
me.
with me.
The NFL is in full swing, which means tailgates and pack stands and the buzz before kickoff. But getting into the actual game, nightmare. You got lines, you got price jumps, you get logged out in the middle of trying to buy your ticket. You were online, you were about to check out, you couldn't get it. Now you're back at the line, you're in the waiting room. It's all a disaster. All of it is made easy and effective with Gametime, the app that wants you to be there with your beer in hand, losing your voice with the crowd, and not bothering with the whole ticket buying process. The app gives the advantage back to fans by unlocking amazing tickets and deals with just a few taps. It's incredibly easy to use. They got the Gametime guarantee, which means everything is official and real, and all the fees are included. So whatever you see as the price, that's the price. We got
Wild Devils coming up this weekend. Browns Jets. That'll be a big one.
Mama.
UFC 322 is November 15th here at MSG. 49ers Giants. Obviously, a lot of football, a lot of basketball, a lot of hockey. Everything's humming right now.
Take the guesswork out of buying all those tickets with Gametime. Download the Gametime app, create an account, and use code KFC for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. That's code KFC for $20 off your first purchase when you download the Gametime app today. Swipe, tap, ticket, go. The NBA is back. All your favorite players are back, and the Draftkings Sportsbook, the official betting partner of the NBA, and Barstool Sports, is the place to bet on the NBA stars this season. Steph Curry draining logo threes, Donovan Mitchell taking over, Cade Cunningham leading the next wave. With more markets open for more of the game, DraftKings is the #1 sportsbook for live betting, and they're live when others aren't. Bet quarters, bet player props, scoring runs, do any live in-game action while all of it unfolds. You can bet on DraftKings. New customers, you just bet $5, a little Abraham Lincoln, a Finsky, and you can get 3 months of NBA League Pass. Wow. So not only are you getting the best lines and payouts for the bets that you hit, and your whole sporting experience is heightened, but now you also get League Pass where you can watch the games for 3 months if you just bet a $5 bet. You can score $300 if your bets win, paid in bonus bets on top of the 3 months free of NBA League Pass. So you get a lot for just $5 when you're a new customer at DraftKings. So download the DraftKings Sportsbook app today. Use promo code KFC, bet $5, and get 3 months of League Pass plus $300 in bonus bets if your bet hits. In partnership with DraftKings, the crown is yours. All right, before we get into things with Charlie, just wanted to talk a little TV first. I threw out the recommendation of Last Frontier last week. Did you get a chance to watch it?
Yes.
It's a good one, right?
Rocks.
Yeah, it
Rocks. It's insane.
I mean,
it's insane.
The very first scene, you kind of know what you're getting. Like I said, it's like a Bane escape from a plane.
Yeah.
As soon as-
I
as soon
forgot you gave me that. Yeah, you're
Yeah.
100% right.
As soon as you're floating through a plane, controlled,
Yeah,
like fighting people, you know what it is, you know. But that's
Yeah.
actually, it's like that costs probably a lot of money and it's hard to do. So it's like, this is stupid, but it's a TV show going all in, and that's
Right.
kind of exactly what that show is. And Jason Clarke he's on a heater right now. He's got that and the Murdoch family murders, or Murder in the Family, the Murdoch murders, something like
Yeah.
that. If you don't know that story, it's a true crime, true story that they have now made into a series. He's the star. Patricia Arquette is his wife. and the story's off. It's a very high-profile law family down in the Carolinas who like run the state because they're so powerful, and they have asshole kids and drug addicts and missing kids and deaths, and they're covering it all up, and it's all corrupt. And they do a great job. So it's like, as I'm watching the show, I was like, reminder, this is real.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's like the silliness of The Last Frontier, but like it happened. You know?
In fact, there's so I think 3 episodes are out. I've seen all 3. The kid, Paw. You're like, how old is this person supposed to be?
Bro.
Because they treat him like such a child, but they also treat him like such an adult.
I think that kid's a great actor.
Yeah, he's unbelievable.
Like, I don't know who that is, but I was like, this kid's gonna have a career, man.
From I think episode 1 when he's by the bonfire,
staring into the fire. That was
you're
the first time I went, oh yeah.
Yeah, you're like, oh, he's doing something.
And he's like, I mean, you can't be typecast because it's not that big of a role, but like if I ever meet that guy, I'm like, you're that guy.
Yeah.
Like he is playing this internal turmoil, demons, controlling me type guy, and it's like,
I can't even tell what's wrong with him. Like, is he a drunk? Obviously he's a drunk, but like, does he also have mental illness? Does he also like have a brain injury?
Yeah,
there's one
it's
point
that
where like,
crazy.
one of the cops is like, I think your son has a brain injury.
Yeah,
like he's acting like such a maniac. I don't
He's
know.
always punching himself, letting people punch him. So he's a really good actor. Jason Clarke kills it. So he's on 2 here. So
Dude,
Last
Jason
Frontier.
I'm happy I did it. I told Jason Clarke to his face, I think you're one of my favorite actors of all time.
Wait, what was that?
When we interviewed him. We interviewed Jason Clarke. Fucking, he was promoting. Oh my god. I forget what he was promoting, but we interviewed him because I remember we were talking about. We talked about Brotherhood.
Yeah.
And he was talking about how that was his first role that he got from Australia, and
pull up Jason Clarke KFC Radio. I just want to like see it to see if it.
And he was saying that if he had the kind of money he has now when he got that role, he would have bought a house in the town my parents live in, and never moved out. And he's like, I wouldn't have been an actor. He's like, I would have bought a house in that town because it reminded him of where he lived in Australia.
No way.
And he's like, I would have bought a house in that town, and I would
In
have
Fall River?
No, where my parents live now.
Oh, but still, like,
Yeah.
we're talking,
Because the Brotherhood, that show is shot in Providence, so it's all he was all right there.
Bro, I don't mean this in like a disrespectful way. I just don't remember this at all. Like, I mean, it's a testament to. We did a lot of fucking interviews, a lot of good people. Like, I don't remember one of my favorite actors. That's crazy.
No, he was such a cool dude, and like beforehand, I was nervous because I fucking love Jason Clarke, and it's one of the first things I say when I sit down. I'm like, dude, I think you're one of my favorite actors of all time.
Yeah.
And then I think he asks why, and I say like White House Down. I forget how.
You know, one of your piece of shit.
Hang on, he's got a great death in White House Down, but I certainly brought up White House Down when discussing my favorites of his.
That's all that I know him from. That's
yeah.
Look at us with our beards, man. And he looks like a Brooklyn barista or something, right? Yeah, so a lot of good TV out there right now. I'm doing a lot of scary movies for the Halloween. Watch the new Conjuring. That shit was fire. That shit was scary.
The Conjuring?
The new Conjuring is creepy.
I've been trying to, and I do this every year. Like, literally every Halloween, I'm like, I'm going to be a spooky season guy. Like, I want to get into Spooktown or whatever the fuck you call it. And
that sounds racist.
You guys are looking at the mayor. Oh, my God. Well, I'm the mayor of Spooktown. So.
Sounds like what the Murdochs would say.
What's the bow thing all about, by the way?
I think that's just what they call, like, Bud Boy,
yeah,
you know.
but I've never.
They do it a lot, too.
I know people from South Carolina. I've never heard the Bo. It must be like a.
Yeah,
if
you're watching the Murdoch family things, they say like, "What's up, Bo? Come over here, Bo."
But they
How you
say
doing,
it
Bo?
to almost
everybody,
like
strangers, family.
I can't get a read on the to usted of it. I'm like, you're using it formally, you're using it informally.
When he talks to the Australian guys and they say like, sort of like mate.
Yeah.
And that I was like, oh yeah, because they say.
But you wouldn't call a doctor Bo, but he's calling doctors Bo.
Yeah,
guy lives without regard. It's crazy.
Is it like BEAU?
No,
B.O.
B.O.
Yeah.
Like
Bo.
just Bo. What's up, Bo? Come here, Bo.
I like that. Vibs just sent me something that said if you ask somebody you want some type shit, they always say yes. And I've been experimenting it. Nobody's ever said no.
You on some type shit?
Yeah, you want some type shit?
Yeah. Totally.
Yeah, I'm on
totally on some type shit. Yeah.
Anyways, go try that at home.
Yeah,
Sorry, continue.
Call my mom real quick. Wait, fuck, what were we saying?
Spooky season. Spooktown. You're going to the mayor of Spooktown.
The mayor of Spooktown. But like I want it, and I get to the point where like I'll be like all day I'm leading up to it. I'm like I'm gonna watch The Shining tonight. Or I'm gonna watch fucking Psycho or The Birds or some shit. Like, I want to watch like old. I don't want to watch like slashers. I'm not really a slasher guy. And then I get to the point where I'm gonna hit play and I go, I'll watch something else. And I guess I'm just not a spooky.
You gotta
season
watch
guy.
it with people who like it too. I feel like there's no more hit or miss movies, TV shows than that genre. Like, it can be absolutely fucking
That's true.
garbage, or it could be like a classic. And I feel like within like 5 minutes of like what it looks like, what the budget is, who the actors are. And then there is also like the slashers are meant to be a little more like fun. Oh, you know what's great? The new I Know What You Did Last Summer. I watched
really?
that as well. Awesome.
I was excited for that. Everyone said it's a piece of shit.
No,
but
I'm surprised. First of all, Madeline Klein.
Madeline Klein.
Madeline
That
Klein,
rings a bell.
Yeah, she's in it. Her character is spectacular. It's like if Alex Earl was in a slasher. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
yeah.
she speaks very like. It's very, you know what I'm saying? It's like it's funny. It's you're laughing. Yeah, she's a very like Gen Z girl, and then she's stuck in a slasher film and murder and stuff. And I probably 5 different times I was like, it's him. He did it. And then like the next scene, he would get murdered by the bad guy. And I would be like, it wasn't him. It wasn't him. They had me on my toes the whole. They like really make it look like it could be this guy, that guy, this girl, that girl, until the very end. And there's great cameos and what's that?
Sorry, these are like the parodies, right?
No. This is real, but it's like they have fun with it. But it's not a parody. It's like it is still a scary movie.
Okay.
But that's very different than like The Conjuring, which is like meant to like scare you and be like a real, piece of art.
Yeah.
You know. So if there's anybody out there there's also so many. I mean, there's so many movies. Period. But if you search like best scary movies, like Rotten Tomatoes had like the top 200, and after the first like 30, you're like, I don't even know what the fuck these are.
But
There's
if you
so
Google
many.
best scary movies, because best horror, this is the top result. Is best scary is the top result Jaws?
So that's what I would never call Jaws a horror movie
No.
ever. I don't even think I would call it a scary movie, even though it scares you. I would say that's, I guess, like a suspenseful thriller or whatever.
I think horror is a lot like comedy in the sense that like in 30 years the genre doesn't really match up anymore.
It needs like new subgenres and stuff, right?
But just like what someone would call a horror in the 1970s, which weren't 30 years ago,
way longer.
like is not what you would call a horror. It just how like comedies don't work today, because comedy is like very of the moment. I think horror kind of is too. It's like
Definitely.
what is scaring the people, or what is about to scare the people right now, and then it kind of in 30, 50, whatever, how many years, it looks a little silly. Where it's
the
like,
fact like Jason, Freddy, Chainsaw Massacre guy, like there was always like one creepy monster type thing,
Right.
You know? And then I feel like it shifted to like The Ring and The Grudge and The Others, which was like ghost stories rooted in reality. Like this woman was killed in the house and now she, you know what I mean?
And because I think at that time, for whatever reason, we as a people were scared of supernatural stuff, whereas now I'm
Now
sure
it's
most
more
stuff's
tangible.
like AI and technology based, because like, and then. But in 50 years, it's gonna look silly being scared of AI. And
Yeah,
just
you're
'cause,
right,
like,
right.
that's,
It's like, oh, could you believe they were nervous about the computer? Yeah.
Isn't Conjuring like based on reality?
True story, yeah. So The Conjuring is Ed and Lorraine Warren, who are like, she is supposed to be clairvoyant, and he is like her husband and like a professor, I think. And what's cool about The Conjuring though is they will visit houses, and they'll be like, no, what you're hearing is actually like the plumbing at night, and like they said 99% of the time they go to someone's house and they give them a real answer, and then there's like the 1% of the time, and those are the movies where like shit gets fucked up.
Halloween Town. Halloween Town. That's what I was looking for.
But like, would you call Weapons a horror movie?
It's like, but that's also kind of like, that's hot right now too, where like the kind of the like horror plus genre.
Yeah.
But like, it definitely, yeah. No, actually, I'd say it's as,
It's a thriller.
but it's as like
I watched
basic
another
tenet
one.
of a horror as it can be, right?
Yeah.
Like with the fucking
The
twigs
witch and
and the
the- yeah.
witch.
Which
and,
is
like,
horror, yeah. Which is horror.
Yeah.
But like, would you call Sinners a horror movie? It's vampires.
But see,
to me, it's like
I had this epiphany the other day, is that because I always say I don't like horror, and I say that because when I hear the word horror, I picture a slasher, because that's what horrifies me.
yeah.
I don't picture
vampires
as horror because I'm not horrified by that.
Yeah.
Other people, that's probably what they picture because fucking they're terrified of vampires.
Yep.
So like when I hear horror, I just think of like slasher and gore, or like a body horror type deal. But yeah, I'm sure there are people who are like, what's horrifying? Vampires. That's scary.
Yeah. It's probably that's what's I think probably what's good about them is when it resonates with you. It's like, oh, it's the dark, or it's like you're trapped underwater, or something that, you know what I mean? Like things that are like, oh, that would terrify me. Been doing that, and then and TV wise, we just wrapped up Mascots. The premiere, the finale aired a couple weeks ago. Bluechew, it's not just a tablet; it is a cheat code for your dick and balls. It's stronger, harder, longer-lasting erections. Like someone gave you a pep talk downstairs. It's like you get a gym membership, but for your sex game, right? It's not just a supplement. It is an erection, a resurrection, and it's not just about performance. It's about your legacy, because after you sleep with somebody, they're talking about you. They're in the group chat. They're saying whether you did good or bad. They're gossiping. They're talking about size and performance and how long you lasted. And if you want all of that afterwards to be good, you want to be a legend in the group chat with the girls or the guys, you got to get Bluechew. Bluechew takes the thing that is like the most important and the hardest to do and the most awkward and all those things, and it makes it easy and enjoyable, and you'll have more confidence than ever in the bedroom with Bluechew. Download or go to bluechew.com today and use promo code KFC at checkout, and you will get your first month of better sex and a more confident you for just $5. That's bluechew.com, promo code KFC at checkout. You pay $5 for shipping. Everything else is free. Free month of Bluechew. Get the tablets, get the better sex, and become a better man. That's bluechew.com, promo code KFC. Head over for details and safety info, and thank you to Bluechew for sponsoring the podcast. Kraken is the best and only way to buy and sell crypto coins. When I say that, I guess it's not literally the only way. It's the only way that a person with a functioning brain would buy and sell crypto. It's the safest. It's the easiest. It is the most user-friendly, and they've got all sorts of benefits and bonuses for you that make it the only option to buy and sell crypto. First of all, if you're still buying crypto manually, you're crazy. Get rid of that. They got recurring buys on Kraken that lets you automate your investments so you can stack sats without even thinking about it. It's DCA done right, meaning you buy more when prices dip and less when they spike. You can link your bank account in minutes and let your portfolio grow. Then there's Kraken Pay, which is an easy way to send money back and forth to people. You don't need another app. You don't need to be in your online banking. You can do everything through crypto. Whether you just lost a bet and you need to pay, whether someone else covered this round of drinks, I got dinner bill, you pay for parking, I pay for tickets, whatever it is where you're swapping money back and forth with your friends, Kraken Pay is instant. And there's zero fees, so you keep more money and nothing holds you up. And the best part of all, Kraken has their referral bonus, $200 in USDG, just for telling your friends to use Kraken. So you can buy, sell, and swap 300 different crypto coins. Tell your friends to do the same thing, and you get $200 in USDG bonus. So quit waiting. Head to kraken.com/barstool today. Non-investment advice. Crypto trading involves loss of risk and is offered to U.S. customers, excluding Washington, New York, and Maine, through Payward Interactive Inc. I think you guys did a phenomenal job. Just want to put that out there. But I know you guys had some thoughts on the whole season. So
well, I guess the thoughts they're brought on. Dave shared his thoughts on it, which I have a lot of thoughts on Mascots as a whole. I think the show is fucking incredible. I think the show is really good. I think we failed, and at just I don't think weekly was the right move. Mm-hmm. And I think that was probably the thing going in that we were most sure of. Right? I think we had a lot of conversations about a lot of different things. I don't think we ever had a conversation about. I think we were all like weekly, definitely weekly. Mm-hmm. And
by the way, I wouldn't this is just semantics, but I don't characterize that as like failing. Like I think the first time you made a fucking TV show, you're gonna do some things different. And,
here's the fuckery of it is that I don't either, but with the standards that I laid out before the show, it's a failure. Mm-hmm. Like I said 70,000 finale, and I don't think we've hit that. So yeah, it failed. But I also feel like in the like as I've been thinking about it, like I feel like an athlete at the end of a season where it's not what the fan base wants to hear, but it's like, look, we learned some shit. There's a lot of things I do differently. I think the team really came together. I think we did a lot of really cool stuff, and I think we just didn't. I think what ultimately was the worst decision was releasing week to week, which was the only decision we were unanimous on.
That's how you find out, though, right?
Right.
Do you think if there was debate, you would have been swayed on that, or do you think you would have?
No, I don't think there wasn't debate. I think we were all pretty.
No,
steadfast.
but I'm saying like if Pavs was like, no, I disagree. Let's go.
Yes, I think most of the things if Pavs strongly believe something,
would go
I was
with
like,
it.
yep.
Yeah.
I
Did
think
you ever have any thoughts? Or you?
I
think
had no
that's the way
thoughts. I thought that probably it would be definitely. I knew it would probably be easier for people to watch, and people would probably give it better reviews if it was all released 7 days in a row. But I know where we work, and I know it's probably really hard to work on something for 6 months. We put out nothing, and then you get 1 week, and it's like, all right, that's all you guys did. We wanted it to linger. We wanted to be able to impress. We wanted to parlay with the tour because that was sold. Like, there was a lot of other factors. I was going to say that
is all part of it.
Yeah.
Like, I think you were able to do the tour, and there was shit like that. I think if it was a good week and then it was gone, I don't think that the other stuff would have come about or been as successful. And, like, that's a part of it, man.
Yeah.
Like, the tour was profitable. The tour was successful. And that element feels like it was connected to, like, the amount of time that it all played out over.
That was one thing that kind of, like, stunk a bit with the Dave thing. Because, like, I don't even know if he like it wasn't a failure as far as Barstool Sports is concerned. I guess it is if that's what he says. But like it made money. It was a profitable business venture. In 6 months, I think we 10x'd our budget. So I think most people would consider that a successful like business project for the year. And I'm not saying that Dave like is like spitting in the face of that. Dave probably just doesn't even know or doesn't care because honestly it is. I think it's a good amount of money, but as far as Barstool's concerned, it probably is nothing.
That's a real problem. Like, not a problem, but it's just the reality. And I like this. I like that we've always played in like, we swam in the deep end. You know, we're playing on varsity, where it's like the standards always continue to raise, and I like that we hold ourselves to those standards. But it does feel like these days, if it's not like millions of views, millions of followers, or millions of dollars, it's like whatever, because there are people doing that, and so that's fine. But I think what Barstool has always like not done the best is development of something that's like, okay, we got something here, but it's not fully there. I think we usually are like, is this a hit or not a hit?
Yeah.
And that's kind of it. And it's like we hire someone and they go viral and now you're a superstar. Not like we hired this person, they've got something there, so let's foster this and let's do more of this and less of that. And that is exactly what I think is going on here, where it's like there's clearly something. You guys are very well loved. They're like the skits were a hit. The show had its moments where and then I thought the weird thing was to criticize the views, because that's the one thing I think was the best part is like I thought the views were good, but if you're gonna say it's not millions of views or several 100,000 every time, but getting good, consistent views on YouTube these days is not what it used to be. That's hard to do, and that was the part I thought you guys did well.
Yeah, we did all right. I think it was just. I think by the end of the road, we had too much on our plates. We thought that. I'll say that, like, in my head, how it was gonna work was we did some promotion to start before the show came out, and then we were gonna be on the tour for 6 weeks or whatever it was. And then at the end of the tour, we were going to have a couple more podcasts come out to promote, like, hey, full season's out, if that's how you prefer watching a show. Like, full season's out now. So, obviously, we had Edelman when we were in L.A. We did Burt, did Santino. Those podcasts haven't come out yet. It's not often the studio head says the show's a piece of shit before the promo's done. So, that is something that I didn't factor in. But it is... like the show itself, I'm extraordinarily proud of, and I think is a really good show. I would do things differently with how we released it, how we promoted it, and we will do things differently. We'll do things differently next year. We're gonna go back to sketches, and then we're gonna start writing something for a project for next year. We don't know what it's gonna be yet. Might be Mascots season 2. Probably not, if I had to guess. But
well, that's what's hard is like even if you guys have a plan or are excited to try this or do something different. It's pretty hard. Like it feels like you poisoned the well a little bit. You know what I mean? Where it's just like it's got this stank on it now in the Barstool world because of Dave. And that's been.
But like
that's
I don't.
a lot of. Like,
I don't think that's like. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. It was just a factor I hadn't considered.
Yeah.
Right? Like it's like, shit, that's right. Dave probably was gonna say. I should have consideed that. I should have expected that.
But Dave is never gonna be like, it was the best. Like,
No,
Dave doesn't like
I've
comedy
said that every
stuff,
step of the way. Like, and I guess that I don't
'Cause he
think
just-
he's
that's not
watched
his-
it, right?
No, he did not.
No.
He did not watch it.
He did not watch it. So like that, I obviously care about what Dave thinks about my work and our work, but I also like I'm not gonna get too bent out of shape out of the opinion of someone who didn't watch. Dave's opinion matters extremely as far as like views and what we're allowed to do and budget and all that
Budget,
stuff.
yeah.
But as far as like the quality of the show, I think the quality of the show is really good. I think everyone who watched it agrees. So yeah, we should roll it out better. We should have planned to release it better. We probably should have made it a movie instead of a show.
100%, yep.
But all things we've learned, and we'll be back next year.
That's.
But also, we're going to go back to sketches,
Yeah.
which go viral every week, Pat just so you know.
I mean, I do love the sketches. I know it probably feels like a bit of a grind to you guys, and it sometimes.
No, honestly, like I'm really excited. For the
I'm
sketches.
very excited,
I'm like,
sketches. The amount of times that something happens, and my first thought is this would be a great out of order sketch, or like I would love to see what the guys did with this story or this viral video. Happens all the time, but I'm sure it's I'm sure for some people, the passion behind like I'm working on a TV show or a movie is different than like I'm making a weekly sketch.
Right.
But if you can
It for sure is.
harness that though, if you can try your best to not, it's sort of like everything else where it's like, oh, you just write a blog and it's like, okay, it's not like a book, but if you read it, it's fucking good. You know what I mean? So there is like some art to that if you want to get corny about it. And I think it's also just business wise is a great play. And I think those things lead to TV and movies, like kind of what you guys did, but if you just do more of that, and then everything, the sketches get bigger, and the passion projects that come out of the sketches get bigger and better.
I think there was probably like a month and a half ago, things were just going great. Things were fucking humming, and I remember in my head going, confidence is getting a little high, John. You know what I mean? Right?
Somebody needs to knock that out.
I was like, I think I liked my confidence at like an 8. And I was probably tipping up into the 9.5, and I was going, you better get down a peg or two. I've been brought down a peg or two, and I'm happy I have been. Like I
don't
think
know. I know what you mean, but like I think we need more like of confidence. Like more confidence is always a good thing. I know what you're saying. You don't want to get like overconfident, but like encouraging instead of discouraging, I think goes a long fucking way in this business and at this company. And you're not gonna get much encouragement. But you also just don't need the discouragement too, And I think that you being like overly excited is better, even if there's some pitfalls that come along with that. Than it's just we've been around. It's tough critics and a lot of negativity and comparison and all those things and that's the game. But I don't think you should. I mean, that's an unfortunate like side effect, if you will. I don't think you should be like, oh, that's good that I got knocked down a peg. You know what I mean? I think
but like I was getting a little close to the sun. I was like, this show's gonna be huge.
No,
bro, you are close to the sun, man. Like you are. You got like, you have to remember that like you did.
And I wasn't saying any of that, but I was thinking it. I was like, this thing's gonna be a fucking monster.
Yeah, but that's how you should be, and that's how you have to think. And like, what you guys did is far more of an accomplishment than if Dave gave you like some love on the Unnamed show. And
I agree.
But I just want people to know that and focus on that, and they don't, because it's just like Dave is the biggest star in the world, and when he says his opinion on something, it's a big deal.
And notoriously, nobody promotes stuff here, so he just saw somebody promoting something for once and then thought.
The promotion thing,
that was a little odd.
The promotion thing was like, we're the worst promoters in the world. When we do Out of Order, we just post a sketch and like.
But also we're like the worst. Like, yeah. Sorry, keep going.
But for promotion, I mean, we put out a teaser, a trailer, and then a poster, and then we talked about it on a podcast. I know that obviously other people were talking about when you guys were going podcasts. Yeah, we're working on Mascots, but like we posted 3 times about a show that we worked 6 months on as hard as we possibly could. It just happened to be a lot of people in the office were really supportive about us.
Yeah.
And then everybody posted. When episode 1 dropped, I was like, oh my God, everybody promoted. And I was like, that was just all out of the kindness of their own hearts.
Yeah, that was that I saw the clip of Dave on he's on a stream or something like that, and it seemed like he had like a lot of anger about that.
Did you ask anybody to promote it?
I didn't ask anyone to promote it. I think ultimately Biz might have fucked us on this one. Biz
I
was
was
too
gonna
big of a
say,
fan.
I think it's also if Dave sees like everybody, and when I say everybody, it's just like our pals in New York promoting. I don't think that registers. I think he goes back to Biz.
Yeah.
I think when he sees someone like that he views to be like important or on his level, that the antennas go up on that. And I think it was Biz being like this. Biz was like super fan.
Yeah.
So
and
sure
like,
he was like, what the fuck?
Obviously, wouldn't change a goddamn thing about that, and it felt so nice and so like. But I didn't get with that clip. He was like fucking failure, like. Fucking they promoted like it's a fucking Oscar. It's like, why is he so mad? I don't think we did that. I certainly said it's good. I stand by that. It's very good. I think we said it might have been Netflix quality. Again, that's 100% true. That's just a fact of the matter, like everything else I've said on this show. But I don't know. I don't remember, at least us. I don't remember us over promoting.
No.
I didn't think we over promoted it.
If anything, me and Owen were like, stop. Like, let's not promote anything. Let's just let it go. Like, let's just see what happens.
I hope it wasn't me. I mean, I promoted.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because I can see that
clearly
too.
struck a
Like
chord
we
with
always,
him.
clash. So I wonder if he was like, if he sees me say it, then he's like, fuck that. I don't know. Because I was trying to think of who else. I'm sitting there going, who at Barstool like promoted this? I was like, oh.
No, you're not letting it knock your confidence.
What's that?
You just can't. Both of you guys, confidence-wise. No.
Yeah, no. I
I'm
really
still
mean
like
that.
honestly, like
It's also like TV
all that
and-
stuff it's stuff I was thinking anyway. Like I was thinking about how we can do stuff differently. I was thinking about how it didn't live up to the standards we'd set. Like it's all stuff that was already
Man,
being
it's like
thought.
you guys set some really high standards in a good way. Like I said, you should always want to be in the deep end and play in varsity. You're up at the pro level, and so like you set some standards. If they meet them, fine. But like when other people in the industry find out that you made a whole season of TV for $30,000 and it looks the way it looks, and like you had several like real good personalities involved in it, like at the very least, I think the reaction should be like, "There's something here."
Yeah,
and
This
is a good direction for Barstool to go in, and you guys are the pioneers of it, and I think that should be celebrated and like that should be the focus rather than just if the numbers did well or if you personally liked it or didn't like it, because there's always going to be an element of that, but it's more like this is the first fucking step, so it's like that was a great first step, and beyond that I think
I did think
focusing
it was
on the wrong things.
I did think it was a little strange too, just the reaction on the heels of like Wake Up Barstool numbers, which aren't good, and everyone is like, yeah, it's new, and we're working on something. And I agree with all that. I remember talking to that in Chicago with people who were on Wake Up Barstool, where I'd be like, yeah, dude, it's fucking week one. Like, you're figuring stuff out. Like, you're going to learn new shit. You're going to learn new promotion tactics. And I feel the same way about it. And I think Wake Up Barstool is going to be a hit. And I think these aren't apples to apples or anything like that, but it's just a similar conversation about ratings right after we tried something new. And I think we got stuff to fix and stuff to get better at. But I think we have a very strong base, and I hope to keep exploring that.
100%. And one last thing is I think, like, we got so much better. Like, it's crazy how much better. Obviously, it's not the result we wanted at all. But, like, I mean, it was me, Owen, and James Crowley, who was an intern, that made it. And it's like we learned how to do everything throughout the 6 months. And we got better every single time. And it's just one of those things where it's like, if we were to continue to do sketches and just like know that whatever trendy sketch that we put out was going to go viral, probably wouldn't have got much better. Probably would just continue that same course. But like, we shot for the stars, did our absolute best, and like, we're just going to continue to learn and get better. And everything we do is going to get better from here on out. And I know that. And we're going to, I'm very confident.
Paz just gave us our fucking Tebow speech right there.
Damn.
Promise.
Yeah, man.
Everything we do will get better. Everything.
I that is like the name of the fucking game, man. It's like if every time your first foray into something was like I think that's what people got used to at Barstool around here. It's like there are certain people who come in and they are just rocket ships, and it's like, those are the exceptions. That's not those are the outliers. The rest needs to be like cultivated and worked on, and I also think that I bet when you go when you guys go back to sketches, I feel like you're gonna bang out sketches like that.
Yeah.
Whatever used to be a struggle for you or a grind or maybe took you a long time, I think you'll be able to do a sketch in a day, and it's like, oh, that was light work. You
I
know?
think so too. I think we got a good one cooking.
Yeah.
I think
I wrote 4 this weekend just out of.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
I kept on
You're
name.
gonna
I kept
write,
on name show in the
shoot, and
background, and
act.
I just kept writing sketches.
Yeah, it's a tough business, and then even tougher within our world. But like, people's a big criticism of me over the years is like, has anybody tried? Has anybody like had more failed projects than KFC? And I'm like, I try shit, man.
Yeah.
Like I wish they were all hits, or if one of them was a hit, I probably would have just like kept doing that. But I try shit, you know. And I think that
also the like everyone tries shit and everyone fails every year. Like particularly in like the entertainment world or sports world, like every year most of the people are failing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
You have
10
a
people
goal?
are nominated for an Oscar. Everyone else probably sucked shit that year.
Yeah.
Right? One person wins the Super Bowl or one team wins the Super Bowl, 50 guys,
Everyone else
whatever's on
is a
that
failure.
team.
Yeah.
Everyone else fucking failed. So like, yeah, we failed this year. I hope we don't fail next year, but we'll be there.
I think your guys' fan base is like supportive too. I just the overall Barstool fan base is always like very critical and very tough. At least for there's kind of the haves and the have-nots at Barstool, and some people get criticized more than not. And I think we're on that side of the tracks. And I think that like I just wish it was more like, but you can have your opinions and maybe you didn't like it or whatever. But also like recognize what is undeniably cool, well done, important, the future. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like you can have not everything was perfect, but let's not ignore all the really good shit that came out of it too.
Yeah, no, but like I have no problem with anything. Like, yeah, no, Dave's right. Like, yeah, we failed. That's a bummer. But again, like I do want to stress, like we didn't cost the company money. We were successful as far as business side of things go.
Right. This is not one of those like it's a box office flop.
Yeah,
when you
no, it's
compare
actually
the
a box
I
office
believe
darling.
like by a lot. I believe like a lot of money.
Yeah,
10x, right? Like 10x?
10x your budget, it's considered a successul
venture.
But again, like by the standards I set out on this fucking show 2 months ago, it's a failure. So he's right to use that. And yeah, we got to get better.
I
We'll be
guess
back
just
next year.
my bigger thing, and we can move on from it, but like I just think that there's a lot of things out in the world and then here that by those standards would be considered failures that just don't get called out or
Yeah.
Again, I think it's a good thing that you guys are playing on the level where it's like, let's discuss this on the Dave Portnoy show. But it's also like, well, say that about a lot of things that were.
No, I'd much rather be someone. I genuinely do. I wish he gave it a shot and wish he watched it and just gave like his actual thoughts on what he thought. Even if he hated it, I would have been fine with that. But I would have liked if he like gave it a shot. But despite all that, like I'm happy to be the kind of thing that like there is.
That's what I mean.
Yeah, that it's on that level where it's like a fail. Like that's all good. I'm happy about all that. It's a bummer to fail. But again, like I think we're gonna go back to sketches for a while. I think we're gonna work on something for next year, and I think I hope that don't hold me to this. This will be the first thing on the podcast I said it's not true. Or not 100% true. I hope to do like a couple months of sketches while we work on something else. Film, while we work on writing something else. Film that, put that out towards the end of the year, kind of like we did this year. But that's a very loose plan for right now. We'll see what the fucking future holds.
Yeah.
I would love a movie.
Yeah.
I feel like if you guys cram all your best editing, acting, writing into like an hour and a half, you could probably come up with something. Because it's just hard to fucking, do 10 episodes or whatever.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
We're going to ask for some help next time. We try to do this one all by ourselves. We're going to ask for a lot more help.
That's the shit that I would just highlight more is like, and really also at the end of the day, the fact that like out of order, like the out of order, there's an out of order crew now. People know that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That is a big win in the Barstool world. To like break into like the rotation of like podcast names, franchises, and now like out of order. Like that in and of itself is like, what's next? It's not like it's just going to go away. You know what I mean? So I think that in that regard, like the job was done. And now you just got to, achieve, reach a level that you set for yourself or Dave sets or whatever. But it's, the foundation is there.
Yeah.
And I think that's like 75% is even getting to that level of like, this is a thing we're going to keep doing because enough people like that. So many other things come and go. Again, if you're trying, there's a lot of people just kind of stay in their lane. But I think if you're going to try and experiment and put new shit out there, 90% of the time it just disappears. The fact that it's like, okay, now what's next is
I also
the big
feel like
accomplishment.
TV and movies is notoriously like the hardest. Like that's why everyone keeps going back to like Marvel movies because they don't want to like sell you have to keep going back to the well because nobody knows how to sell like movies and TV, even in the industry.
That's probably something we can be better at too. Is like helping sales. I know there's a lot of complaints about that, and I've made many of them. But we can probably do a little better at that. Just things we gotta get better at.
Yeah.
You know, things we gotta get better at.
But I will just say this too, like this is not a direct correlation, but it was like 10x your budget, right? So like what instead of $30,000, if it was $300,000, I'm not saying you would just 10x that, but it just feels to me like this is something that when invested a very little bit, profited pretty well. What if we invested a lot of it? And not just money, time, effort, resources, promotion, help, cultivation, development, like maybe it would go 10x. Maybe it would go from 300,000 to 3 million. Maybe we go, So,
but we gotta get better first. We got
fine.
some stuff.
That you can say. I have no problem with you guys saying you got to get better. I take umbrage with saying like it was a failure.
Yeah, but again, like by our own standards, it was. That's why I can't really push back on that. It is like by our own standards. Or I don't even know if that was a unanimous group decision, but like I certainly had in my head 70,000 finale, because I actually kind of fucking Vegas guy this guy.
Yeah,
dude, I was like, what do they always say when they're like, how does Vegas know? How does Vegas know?
Yeah.
I was like, just in the lead up to it, I was like, I think we're probably gonna get like 200 first episode, so and that'll cut down in half right away, and if we keep 70% of episode 2, then it's a success.
Mm-hmm.
And
you're saying those are all correct. Like you
it was
nailed
basically
them all.
correct.
Man over
like
here,
every step of the way, except for we didn't get this. I think we might at some point, but that would be considered like limping to the finish line of the marathon. Like you wanted to finish in 3 and you finished in 10.
But I don't think you can consider that failure.
This is all so crazy.
Yeah,
you know how many like
so
fucking
confused.
established bona fide actors
but like
make like shows that just bomb, and it's just like, okay, I don't know, he bombed. This is like not a failure, guys.
No,
Yeah,
but like I like that's what I keep. Yes, that word, it's you got an F, but like we learned. Like I'm very, 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 very proud of this show. Like I think we worked really hard. I think it's very impressive for what we did and all that stuff. But the end result is the end result. Like
I get that.
The end result is we didn't hit the goal.
I guess the thing is, I would just not call this the end result. I think that was the first fucking one.
Yeah,
I know what you mean. But yeah, just bigger
yeah.
picture. It's just, and it's a fan base and a company that's like, it's harsh, it's tough, and I think if there was a world where like it was a more encouraging, positive company, it would just feel differently right now. It just, I don't think, I think you have to like take a little bit of the Barstool lens away because you did something that's not very Barstool. We've never done this before. As a matter of fact, it was always kind of like, no, we don't do that. We're unscripted. We're natural. We're organic. This is acting. So it's like you can't really apply the same Barstool standards to something that's so not Barstool.
Yeah.
But it is now. That's the point. It's
Yeah.
like it is going to be like you took it in that direction, and you're the first one to do it. And so like the same thing with podcasting. It's like podcasts that came about afterwards that after that door was open, like you're trailblazing, and it's not always the easiest thing. But certainly is not a failure.
Yeah.
I don't. I'm not discouraged. I'm encouraged.
Okay,
if
good.
anything, I'm a
Good.
little
Should be.
disappointed, but like not devastated. Like I'm disappointed in us. That's it. I think we'll be better next year, and I think we'll be better next week when we drop a fucking viral sketch.
I mean, it's a hard business. Charlie Sheen will tell you, man. Let's get into it with our guy Charlie Sheen. If you haven't read it yet, the book of Sheen is great. The documentary kind of like complements it. And by the way, also, like everyone knows he's a star. When you go back and start to look through his IMDb, there's a lot of movies that you either should have seen and loved, and if you haven't seen them yet, go watch them because they're fucking unbelievable. So I think our most distinguished guest of all time on KFC Radio, Charlie Sheen. Today's episode is brought to you by Fabletics. When you live in activewear, you can never have enough. Ask Rico Bosco. How many sweatsuits do you think Rico Bosco has?
Oh my God, I wouldn't. I'm gonna guess.
Do like a genuine, because I could be like 100, but like, what do you think a genuine number, a reasonable number of sweatsuits to have would be?
A reasonable number of sweatsuits to have is 2.
Correct.
Rico probably has 17.
40!
Oh my
He has 40
God.
sweatsuits. And I hope to God they are Fabletics. And if they're not, you got to up your game because Fabletics has pieces that feel premium and perform like expensive brands without the crazy price tag. You can become a Fabletics VIP, this would be perfect for Rico. You become a Fabletics VIP. You pay money up front. It's almost like a monthly subscription, right? And then you get 80% off of everything in the store. So you pay $60 up front, and you'll make that back with one purchase by saving $60 on any of your activewear, and then everything else you buy throughout the month is 80% off. You're practically making money at this point by becoming a Fabletics VIP member. You get the exclusive membership benefits, including a credit that you can use towards a full outfit or a bundle up to $100. So it's $60, then you get 80% off, and initially you get a $100 credit that you can use for one item or bundling together a few more. Fabletics has a community of over 2 million VIP members, so you know that if there's 2 million people out there doing this, you could be 2 million and one. There's a lot of satisfied customers. Fabletics is comfortable, performance gear, affordable, high quality, everything you need in your activewear. So treat yourself to gear that looks good, feels good, and does not break the bank with Fabletics. Go to fabletics.com/KFC. Sign up to be a VIP and get 80% off everything. That's fabletics.com/KFC to sign up for Fabletics VIP today. Jackpocket is America's #1 lottery app. I knew it was gonna be special when we went. Somehow you started the word Jackpocket with an N. Jackpocket. They got state-sponsored lottery games right on your phone. I'm gonna show you what we got right now. This is how simple it is, right? I'm gonna open up my phone. I type in Jackpocket. All right, what do we got? I love when it opens up. It's like Jackpocket. They got Mega Millions. You got Powerball. You got all of your state lotteries. You got Win 4, Take 5, Cash for Life, all that stuff. Right now, Powerball is at $304 million. Mega Millions is up to $650. I would say we're about 4 away from $1 billion. Four more jackpots. Missed jackpots away from $1 billion on Mega Millions.
Don't let it get there. Win it right now.
Win it right now. Just take home $650. You're fine. But I will actually don't, because I'm gonna get the winning tickets right now. I'm gonna go $5 popular quick pick, slide to order successful. It's crazy how easy it is. So download Jackpocket today. Use promo code KFC2 at checkout, at sign up, and you'll get $5 in lottery credits. So. I just spent $5 getting a couple tickets for Mega Millions. Could have been for free. If you're a new customer who signs up at Jackpocket and uses promo code KFC2, all you got to do is opt in, use that promo code, and get $5 in lottery credits. Jackpocket is America's #1 lottery app. Sign up today.
Cool.
All right, let's do it. What a surprise!
Here we are.
Here we are.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
We got a pretty cool story, I'd say.
Yes, we do.
And when we first connected and we kind of talked through that story, you were like, do you think this is something you would maybe say on your show? And I was like, yeah, Charlie. I think so, man.
That's awesome.
But yeah, so I guess you tell me, how did you stumble upon me? I know kind of my version of it, but I want to hear from you. What's your thoughts of how this all kind of came to be?
Well, I hope our stories match.
Yeah.
Because oftentimes with other shit, they wouldn't. Right? Yeah. I mean, not even close, right? Yeah, so there's a dear friend of mine named Tim Montana, right? Mm-hmm. And he's doing the music for the promotional stuff for the beer that I launched, that I'm in the process of launching, Wild AF, right? And so he's also very fluid and adept with social media, right? And he's got his fingers in every pie. Is that an expression anymore?
It is now. I can tell you what I'll be saying from now on.
Social media pie. Yeah, it's a weird image, isn't it? Yeah. Anyway, so he scans a lot of the content and just a lot of the stuff, the energy around the things that I'm doing, right? And as you know, I've been promoting the book and the doc. I think I'm promoting my book more than Jesus would have promoted the Bible. Okay?
On your grind, sir.
You are defense. It's a better read.
It is. It's a little more enjoyable than the Bible.
Am I going to get yelled at for saying that? Because I've had that line in my hip pocket for like a week now.
I like it.
And just figured this was the place to try it out. Anyway, so there was some shit that I revealed in the doc and in the book, and so it created quite a stir, and it was I I guess when you talk about, smoking tons of crack and having some gay sex,
I guess that happens.
That's gonna get, yeah.
Who knew, man? Who knew? I thought that was going to be a whisper in the night.
So that cat was out of the bag, right? Let's just do all metaphors today.
I love it.
All fucking metaphors.
You got a knack for them. I'll say in the book.
Thank
man.
you.
You do have quite a bit.
Thank you. So he says, "Hey, man, there's this dude who has been like rushing to your defense, man. He's been like he's been championing everything that you're doing, and even the shit that everybody's yelling at you about. He's taking a stand, and he's just like he's atop his podcast mountain, screaming to the heavens to just pay attention to the truth. And okay, you think a certain way about this other thing, well, go fuck yourself, because here's why Sheen did it that way. And I'm like, well, who is this person? So he tells me it's you, right? Mm-hmm. And then it came to the thing about the 47,000 girls, right? Mm-hmm. And I didn't even remember that part of the interview. Because what I don't do after these things are done is like sit there all fucking day. Oh my God, how's it tracking? What are they saying about me? Right? Like there's fucking time for that. We're not supposed to swear here.
Swear. Say whatever the fuck you want.
Okay.
Man.
I should have asked that like 15
before the Kraken again.
Swear words earlier.
Yeah, we're a clean show.
Okay, good.
Truly
good,
whatever you
good.
want. Yeah.
So anyway, so I watched that post and or the story, and then I realized, holy shit, that the guy on Logan's show, right?
Mike.
Impulsive, right? He's the one that just like threw that out, but just as a piece of banter.
Totally,
not
just an exaggerated statement for
exactly
never meant to be taken seriously.
Right? Yeah.
I did say in my video, I said the reason why this is resonating is because it could be true with Charlie. But yeah, it was just like he never said that, guys. This other dude did, and he said it in total, exaggeration, jest. And I had no problem just saying the truth of that, but it was the first and only time in my career that I've had anybody reach out the way you did, just to be like, if nothing, you never even knew that I even had a podcast. It was just to say thank you.
Sorry about that.
No, that's. But even further, I said I had the podcast, and I said I would love to have you on, but I said, full warning, I'm not Joe Rogan, I'm not Logan Paul, and again, you said I don't give a fuck, man, I want to talk to you, and I was like. This is truly, and I'm not just saying this because you're here, it's one of the nicest and most genuine conversations I've ever had in the business.
Oh, that's amazing.
It was just,
that's amazing.
They're few and hard to come by,
Thank
but
you.
it was very real.
No, I said to Tim, who is in my book referred to as the entire state of Tim Montana, which is pretty cool. Yeah, they want to call his next album that.
That's great. That's a good
I really
one.
like that.
They maybe should. I don't know. So. I said, yeah. I just want to reach out. I just want to thank this man,
Yeah.
And then I had DM'd one other person, like one time in my life, and didn't know when I hit send if it was going out to the world or if it was just going to her.
Public, private, yeah.
Yeah. All right. I admitted it was a girl.
We all had a pretty good guess, Charlie.
A little more dicey when it's,
yeah. Well, no, it could have been my fucking brother. I mean, come on, So anyway, I was glad that it got to you personally.
Yeah.
And you called me back in like 5 minutes.
I was right on top of it.
Yeah.
Man. Yeah. We had a great conversation.
So why did it take 5 minutes? Was it, were you in the middle of a show when you got
No, and this is funny as well.
I'm joking.
But I was out watching the Mets that night, and at that point, the Mets were still in the playoff hunt.
Right.
And when I say that, if anybody, almost like anybody else in the world was like, hey, can we talk right now? And I'm in the middle of what I consider to be a Mets playoff push, I would be like, no, man, we'll talk tomorrow. But I was like, I think I can make some time for my buddy Chuck.
Nice.
And then as we got to talking, I was like, I know you're a real big baseball fan. Who are you a fan of again? And it was the day the day the Mets had been eliminated by the Cincinnati Reds. And he goes,
And I-
"You're not gonna like this answer. I'm a Reds fan." I was like, "What are the fucking
I know,
chances?"
I
man?
know.
I was like, "He's probably a Dodgers fan, LA, or something like that." No, the Reds.
I know.
Dude. How'd that
I
come
know.
about? Why are you a Reds fan?
Dad's from Dayton.
Oh, that'll do it.
And so
That'll
that's
do it.
just, how it happens to, growing up in them.
That must they won in what 91 or 90?
90.
So that must have. I mean, that's prime, right? I mean, you're coming into your own. The Reds are winning the series. It's got to be a hell of a
Right,
time.
but even before then, the first 2 years I followed them was 75 and 6.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
So
If
you're
you-
doing Big Red Machine. Johnny
Yeah,
Bench, all that.
thinking
Yeah.
that's just the way it was going to be.
Forever.
And
Yeah.
it's just not the case.
that
But the Reds do have a 9-game win streak in the World Series.
So if they make it, you're good to go.
Right. Well, then
gotta get
they would have to, win that first game at least
Yeah,
to get
yeah,
the
yeah.
double digits,
There's something about when I hear you talk about baseball, and I realize this just through the book, the doc, getting to know you very briefly, and then hearing you talk about baseball, like you're so far from a normal guy, but you are a completely normal guy.
Oh,
That
right
makes
on.
sense.
Right on.
It's
Thank
like,
you.
Like obviously your experiences, your career, your stardom, money, fame, all this shit is so one of a kind. But there's something about when you talk to a guy specifically where you just know it's a normal guy.
Right
you know?
on.
And
Right on.
you got that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, and there's no and just baseball specifically, like the dialogue of baseball, there's no room in that conversation for anything about fame or excess or dope or women or whatever's left over. It is just that.
Yeah.
And that's all that it needs to be.
Yep.
And I can tell, and I'm sure both of you can as well, especially working here, that you can tell. It doesn't even require a full sentence. It's like 3 or 4 words into that sentence how much that person really knows about the sport.
Oh, yeah.
You
Especially
know?
baseball. You
Right?
can't really fake baseball. Football, you watch on the Sundays. It's a big deal. Fantasy, betting. But, like, baseball, you got to, like, love it. And because
Yeah.
otherwise, it's not great for everybody else. But for
Right.
baseball fans, it's art and it's, poetry and it's all this gay shit that's like,
and a shorthand.
Yeah.
yeah.
There's a
There's
shorthand
so
to
much
it. Yeah,
terminology
which we all get from just growing up with play-by-play in our minds our entire lives, right?
Can I recommend a movie to you? Can
Please.
I recommend the movie
Yes.
Ephes? Have you seen that?
Ephus.
It came out this past year. It just came out. It's kind of an indie type, like with baseball.
Yes. Why do I feel like I saw it?
It just captures it. It's like a men's beer league on a kind of a decrepit field, and it's just one game. And I watched that movie this year. It captures the spirit of baseball so beautifully.
Got it.
It's
yes,
perfect.
I saw
It's
it.
really great.
Did they bring the cars on the field?
No.
That's a different one.
Different one, yeah.
Okay.
This is one. Just
Is this about Bill Lee?
Look at
Is this
you
about?
recommending movies to Charlie Sheen.
But is this about Bill Lee?
Spaceman Bill Lee's in it?
Yeah.
It's not about him.
Right, but he's in it.
He's in it. Yeah.
Yes.
He's an old man sitting on the bench watching these guys.
Yes,
play. It's
okay,
a-
okay.
You'd love it. It's great.
But
It's really fun.
didn't they? Because the
Oh wait, they do bring the cars on the end. Yes,
yeah,
you're right.
because they're playing past and they can't get the
Oh, they put
lights
the lights
on.
in the headlights.
Yeah,
Yes, no,
yeah.
you're 100% right. I got
That's
that
great.
wrong.
Yeah.
100% right, Charlie.
Yeah, no, that film is a trip.
Really great.
Yeah.
I really because I had fallen out of love with baseball a little bit over the last few years just because the Red Sox suck and stuff like that. And that movie got me back in. So I was like,
Interesting.
that's what I
Wow.
remember.
I mean,
Wow,
the phrase,
okay.
the phrase "How can you not be romantic about baseball" is one of the truest, realest statements ever. When I watch a game, someone breaks a record, a walk-off hit, or whatever it is, it's like, to me, it's just different than any other sport. There's something extra.
It really is.
Yeah.
Yeah. And writing this frickin' thing, it was the only sport I could have on the television at like volume 2.
Yep.
Just barely enough to peek through where it wouldn't contaminate.
Yep.
If you can view this as uncontaminated, no, where it wouldn't interrupt, whatever
yeah.
kind of rhythm and flow I had going, and it was still there just to make just the experience just that much more soulful.
Yeah. Soulful is a great word to
Yeah,
describe it.
thank you.
Yeah.
Brother,
Thank you.
brother, whatever you did, whatever your process is, it's a home run.
Oh, thank you.
It really is. Like
Thank you.
You wrote this entirely?
I did. Yeah.
Yeah. Because I heard you mention that. That was one of my first questions for you when I started reading it. Because it's a real book. Like it's because sometimes people either have a ghostwriter or they don't. They should have a ghostwriter and they didn't.
Right.
In your case, it was just like no, this guy can write, and like,
Oh, thank
and
you.
the metaphors and some of the one-liners are, and I guess that makes sense, right? You know, you're an artistic person, but it's a different animal, and I wrote it down because there was one line that really, I mean, there was several that jumped out at me, but the when you were talking about meeting Matthew Perry, and you said that you guys were veterans of the unspeakable.
Yes.
And those that have been through it recognize graduates at a single glance. And I was like, whew,
Yeah.
some bars there. That was, you know.
Thank you. But then I give the architect or the author of that quote credit. Don't I?
Yeah. That was maybe
Yeah.
Charlie Sheen original, but there was
Yeah.
a lot in there that was very just like poignant stuff that made me like, you know, pause.
That's
Like,
awesome.
whoa,
Thank
yeah.
you. Thank you. I would get to places in the book and there's always just an easier, kind of lazier way to describe something or to finish a thought or just and I wouldn't settle.
Yep.
But I also didn't want to turn it into, oh gosh, another Sheenism, another moment. Then they're not special.
Right.
You know, but I just wanted to create just enough, you know, whatever I was describing and whatever was going on or whatever details, you know, needed to be there. And I just wanted it to be unique because the experiences were really unique, right?
I feel like I've heard them before.
So then the description supporting that, you know, those moments on the journey just couldn't be pedestrian.
Yeah.
You know?
Do you think you got that through acting, or is that through life? Like, well, you know, like you don't walk into a door, you pop through, or you sway through, right? Like there's
Right.
that
you can-
descriptive of like you don't stand up, you pop up, you jump up. You know,
Interesting,
right? Is that,
interesting.
do you think that's kind of where that desire for description came from?
It's
Or is it just
probably just you know the confluence of a billion influences. You know.
But that's what's cool about doing it at this stage in your life too. It feels like everything coming into a few hundred pages.
Oh, right on.
That's
Right
That's
on.
a hard thing to do, to put
Right
your
on.
life and that many years into one book. You know.
Yeah, no, thank you. And there's a lot of stuff that just didn't make it
sure.
into this.
Yeah, yeah.
And but that could exist in a follow-up book. Something, I don't know, do something like the essays.
Yeah.
Then I'm not like rigidly have to be allegiant to the chronology of the memoir, autobiographical.
It's like you did this, and now you can kind of do
Right, it would just
however
be,
you
it'd be
want.
cool to tell stories, just you know, bop around the different, just a timeline. Not
Have you ever
not.
considered doing something like this?
I have actually.
Yeah. 'Cause,
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
you'd be perfect for
Thank
it
you.
because you can do that. You can, you know, bounce around,
Right.
tell a story, be serious, be funny, whatever.
Thank you.
People would love it, man.
No, well, well, thank you. I've done enough of these, and it's almost turned into like this extensive research project, or there's a research aspect to it, you know, yeah, no, and I'm not going to name any names, but it's not the case right now. It is not the case right now. There's been a few where I felt like I was in the wrong chair.
Yeah, I know that.
Not right now. I stress
All right,
that.
come on, you can sit here.
No, but it's really cool when you walk in and sit down, and from the jump, you feel like you're in not just really good hands, but with people that are fueled by passion. You know, that they're here for the right reasons.
Yeah.
And it's like, and you can't. That's the shit you can't manufacture.
Right.
You can't just like,
fake your
and
way
let's
through that.
do that part. No, it doesn't. And so that's where I'm at. That's what's happening right now.
Well,
Yeah.
all of us, like the entire company, technically owes you a debt of gratitude and maybe some royalties. When
I'm listening.
we were, so Barstool started in like 03, 04. By the time I was in, it was 09. So a couple years into that, we're really trying to expand, pay more salaries, eventually get a place like this. So we're trying to make as much money as we can, and we're trying to stay afloat at this point, right?
Wow.
And we started to sell some T-shirts with your face and the phrase "winning" on it.
God.
And when I tell you, you kept the lights on, like I'm not joking.
Wow.
There was a period of time where, like, if we didn't have a good year, like, I don't know if there would have been money for my salary, and then winning came along, and so and it was funny. At first, I think the first design said Tiger Blood, and we quickly realized that winning was resonating more with the people, and we went with that. But that's a little piece of Barstool lore that you are,
Wow.
a very big part of, for better or worse.
That's just amazing.
I noticed in your book you said you were like, and then Brian Wilson said that 7-letter phrase.
Right,
But you
right.
yourself didn't say that. Was that? Do you like resent that, or is that your
No,
cool thing, or-
I just thought, okay, how can I present this differently?
Yeah.
What if I just don't write the fucking word?
Right.
You
And
know?
then I was listening to the audio. I did both. I read and listened. So
Oh,
I was
and-
waiting for in your voice to hear winning, and then you left it. I was like, oh, that's kind of cool.
And it's not
I'm
in the
saying,
audio, right?
But everybody
Yeah.
knows, yeah.
But what I also did, and I hope they did this when they printed this thing, is I actually hit the space bar 7 times
So you got
to make sure it was the right length.
amount of spaces.
Yeah,
Love that. That's great.
Yeah, that's the Virgo brain at work, you know.
I would say from our point of view, because we're so internet based and virality based, I really think that interview was probably the first true viral story. It was viral videos and a couple things like that.
Right.
But as far as like a story and a person doing something that became the water cooler talk and just went everywhere, I think that really might be either the first or the biggest or whatever it was. And I've always been so fascinated by it because, I mean, obviously you were in a state and saying some crazy shit, but instead of people being like, whoa, what was that? People loved it. So, do you know why? Like, I was trying to get to the root of that, almost like psychologically. Is it because you were telling the truth? Is it because you didn't care? A combination of all of it? But people were like, that was awesome, man. And it was almost like universal.
Yeah, it was like I write in the book, you know, that the world I woke up into was not the one I said goodnight to 6 hours earlier.
Truly, though. Before
Yeah.
and after, like worlds
It was
changing
just,
type of thing.
And you know, again, back then I wasn't like, ooh, how's that tracking?
No.
I didn't know there was anything to track. And then there's people are knocking on my door, in the bedroom door, eventually the front door, but knocking on the door saying, dude, you need to get out here and come take a look at what's going on. And it was just like there's like folk songs and rap songs.
Yeah.
and,
Most quotable, I mean, Tiger
it
Blood,
was
Honest DNA.
nuts.
And,
How many times would you say that happened in your life, where the world you went to bed from was a different world than you woke up to? And I mean, I don't mean that in like you were fucked up, but like,
Right.
I feel like that happened a lot for you, where like the stardom changed.
There,
where
there was one moment or one, I think, specific thing that it's what I call BP versus AP, like before Platoon, after Platoon, and it was a trip. And while it was happening, it's not in the book because it's not really a great story to tell. I was in Toronto with Oliver doing some press, so I wasn't really even stateside when all the Platoon, you know, all the fanfare started building, and the media attention, and all the critics and all that stuff. So I still got like another pause from it to come home to,
yeah.
and then like. Right this way, Mr. Sheen. You know, I'm like, my dad's
was
here.
that was that instant? Like people right away knew
It
Platoon was
was-
a hit. Like
Yeah,
it wasn't. I mean, the
they're-
cast is just sickening. By the way, like it's
Right
like
on.
everybody from that era was probably early 20s or whatever you guys were. I mean, the names you know, but then you know, oh that guy, this guy, you know, it was crazy.
Yeah, no, and he his choices for those roles. I mean, obviously, I'm grateful. But he went against type, you know, because Berenger was playing like romantic leads, and
wow.
Willem
Yeah,
was
yeah.
playing like like warlock type fucking bad guys, you know,
Right.
and he just swapped that.
So Platoon was like, was that the first, or would you say the like when 2.5 Men pops off, is that comparable to Platoon, or at that point you can't even compare because it's such different?
I couldn't compare it because I'd never hadn't experienced it yet.
Right.
Platoon was like the first. I mean, Bueller was a little bit of a taste. That was like the universe saying, "Get ready, kid.
it's
this is this is gonna be a whopper." You know.
got something in store for you.
Yes.
You smoked that scene, by the way. Like, I mean,
Oh, thank you.
Nailed it.
Thank you. So that was, just like that. But then, so I didn't really have anything I didn't have any perspective really. That's not the right word.
You couldn't compare it to anything yet.
With 2.5, that was a different kind of excitement,
Yeah.
different kind of vibe, because it was already coming with a lot of historical stuff attached to it.
Yeah,
Right.
You know,
Right,
it made
You have like a clean slate, really. At that point.
Thank you,
Yeah,
thank you. Yeah, and then people could see right away that a lot of the stuff that they were drawing from my actual life for things with Charlie Harper. You know,
That was something interesting you said. Sorry to step on you there. That was something interesting I thought you said in the doc too, where Spin City was kind of your first time where you got to be quote unquote in on the joke because the character had
Yes.
that dark past written.
Started to get meta with it.
And I was thinking that's funny that like in today's world, it's pretty easy for a celebrity to get in on the joke because they can just send a tweet and I guess, oh look, they're in on it, they get it now.
Right.
But back then, you had to rely on writers to tell the world
Exactly.
he fucking knows what's going on.
Right,
He's
right,
in
yeah.
on it.
Yes.
That must be tough to have to rely on someone else to say your word, like to speak your truth for you.
To a degree, but if those same writers are bringing stuff to you before it's you're going to be broadcast,
you knew it was
it's
coming, right?
yeah,
Yeah, because
Yeah.
I would imagine they got to at least feel you out. Because that could go south, right? You
Exactly.
why the fuck are you making fun of it? You know?
Yeah, but can you imagine?
Yeah, well, I'm sure there's plenty of people who would do that.
I know, but what a buzzkill! Yeah, what a party foul from like right from the get go, right?
Well, listen, if there's one guy who appreciates the party and doesn't want to ruin the vibe, it's you, man. You get that.
I mean, is there any other way to come at it?
That actually is true, though. I mean, in this era where we see people get canceled or falter, stumble, and some people kind of fight it or deny it or lie. And it's always the people who go on a podcast or send a tweet or whatever who are like, yeah, I don't know, this is how it happened. And this is good, bad, or otherwise. Like, this is how it is, and let's go through it, you know?
Right.
And that is the only way to deal with it. But you'd be surprised how many people don't see that, you know?
Yeah.
Can't accept it, don't want to accept it for ego purposes, fear, whatever it is.
Fear,
Yeah,
I think,
fear.
is the prime factor in that, you know.
What's your main emotion in sharing it and doing the opposite?
It just feels more noble. It just feels more connected to just the right thing to do.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I completely agree.
I would imagine there's a level of like relief as well, just being like it's on the table, man.
Absolutely.
all of it, right?
Yes. Yeah.
I got no skeletons to hide. you
Yeah.
know, so
No, after the book and the doc, I am unextortable.
dude, I gotta say, man, extorting someone is like
How low can you go?
the lowest. Truly.
Yeah,
Like,
right?
it's just like let me
Right?
find this person at their weakest or at something that bothers them and just manipulate and fuck them. Like there's a special place in hell for people who do that.
I
man.
really hope so. I really hope so, man.
Fingers crossed,
Yeah,
baby.
no, I keep score, man.
Yeah.
I fucking keep
It's awesome
score.
to see you. I mean, it's not even like back on top because it's like you've just been at the top and you're so synonymous with Hollywood and success and everything. But it's cool to see when honesty and truth and having a sense of humor and humility and nobility and all that shit works out.
That's amazing.
You know, and you get
Thank
what
you.
you deserve. And it's
Thank
like,
you.
yeah, Charlie's fucking back, man.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I haven't really even done anything yet. I mean, I did these two pretty cool projects, but I haven't done like what I do.
Well, now you can put KFC Radio on your resume, dude.
Top
You know,
at the
before
top.
Platoon and then before KFC Radio.
Hello, right?
Is there a plan though? We were just discussing like, could you go back and do a sitcom? Is there a world where you go do a indie film passion project that gets Oscar buzz or something like that? I feel like it's all on the table for you right now.
The only project that is, actually, and they're going to kill me for even like speaking to this. The only sitcom that I would do is the one that's been written for me, and I just read it, and it's fabulous. It's fabulous.
Like you, sort of like your life.
No,
like-
it's a different scenario.
That's
No, but
it's
it's cool, and I'm honored, I'm flattered. You know, it might have shown up like a year too late.
Why do you say that?
Because what all this has also reignited is an interest in dramatic work, and that's what what the doc leaned into, intentionally or otherwise. What was providing an archival journey from the 80s all the way to before I went to television, and just reminding people that, oh shit, this is a guy that like did these films that withstood the test of time and have become multi-generational and were dramas. I mean, Major League kind of has its own spot on the mantle, right?
Yeah.
But
Hey, there's drama there. There's drama in
there's
Major League.
You're right.
When Rick Vaughn comes back around, is a dramatic moment.
Yes. So it's amazing to have just things to choose from again. I just don't know. I don't know what's left for me in the sitcom world, and it does. And even if we bring something, give a gift to the public, like I don't know, something as amazing as Cheers, right?
Right.
And I'm not saying I'm just saying as amazing. It's still gonna be compared to
2.5.
Yeah.
So you think that's untoppable?
I think what's untoppable about it is just how ingrained in the fabric of culture that it's become, right?
The fact that I can just sit here and go, man,
right?
It's just like so much of it is.
But the people in the street, they'll come up and it's either, I'm still watching the episodes, or then the next person that walks up, wow, man, you got me through my dad's cancer. I'm like, and then you can't say like, well, how's he doing?
Yeah.
Because, right? Yeah.
That was a long time.
Been a while. Yeah.
He either really beat it, and really helped you through it, or speaking of 2.5 Men,
we made cancer funny. Oh God, we're gonna get yelled at.
You can say whatever you want.
No,
here,
but
don't
I'm
worry.
saying, oh, thank you. But so as far as bringing something fresh. Which I think people would celebrate and would embrace, and I think the show would be really smart. But I just I don't know. I'm trying to imagine like episode 30.
Yeah.
Am I still going to have the passion for it? I turned 60.
Spring chicken.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
You're insane for being 60.
Oh, that's
And having the
well,
miles
thank
you
you.
have,
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Something in it's tiger blood, man. I don't know, there's something else in there that's different.
Honestly, like what is that like? Like even writing the book where you're like, yeah, you're a fucking great writer. Like
Thank you.
When has Charlie Sheen
failed?
Like when have you tried something? Obviously you failed many times, but like when have you tried something and been like, I can't do this? I feel like everything you touch, you're like, I can figure it out. I got it.
I picked up a guitar once, put it down after about 7 minutes.
Yeah.
That was a fucking failure.
Okay.
You mean something on the big stage that, or something that would have been, that could have been, like professionally failed?
I think just anything.
Just like kind of anything.
Because like I'm running through in my head everything I've seen, like play 2-on-1 with Michael Jordan, and even though that was eyes closed and silly, it's like you guys won. The story when you got out of rehab and you just hit a home run in front of your dad like the day of getting out of rehab.
that might have been the one that made me write the question down.
Yeah.
I saw that. I was like, oh, like you had the footage of it. I was like, that's a great swing. That's a fucking bomb. That's not.
You can do it all.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So like whether it's professionally or just like in something you wanted to do in life, it seems like whatever you kind of put your mind to, you can at least do somewhat, if not at a high level.
Thank you. I don't know what the secret sauce is. I think it's just maybe not being ruled by the fear of failure. I mean being keeping it kind of in the room.
Keep it in the corner though. I see you over there.
Yeah.
All right, stay over there.
Yeah, like a slightly dangerous dog. Just
keep it on the leash. You're good.
Yeah, it's fine over there. But yeah, I guess it goes to just that thing about you don't know until you try. Mm-hmm. You really don't, right? And people ask like, well, how did you know you were a good writer, right? I'm like, well, I didn't. but I had a pretty good hunch I wasn't a bad one.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep,
And
I
I
know
just
exactly.
not to be too confident about things going into them, or confident but not cocky. I don't know.
So fearlessness is really your superpower.
I mean, yeah, but not completely. I don't skydive. I don't do, extreme sports.
You're not afraid of the scarier things, like putting yourself out there. Like that, I think to me and to most people, that's scarier than skydiving is being honest and open with the world.
Big
Sure, hitting send.
Yeah.
Like the biggest whoosh possible to the universe. Yeah, man.
Yeah,
That's
a universal text send. Whoosh. It's like,
Yeah,
oh
man.
boy.
No, it's exciting. Yeah, it's exciting.
Yeah, but see, the fact that you just got like jazzed up, I can see it in your face. You're like, it's exciting. And there's a lot of people that is like their worst nightmare. And They
Wow.
would never do it in a million years is
Wow.
put themselves out there. So, and the fear of failure, I talk about with the younger guys on our team, they grew up so much on the internet of everyone seeing pictures and videos and everything that being cringe, being, corny, weird, whatever, is like they're crippled by it.
Wow.
Like I don't want to dance because you're gonna take a video of me and it's gonna be, you're gonna see my goofy dance moves on the internet, or I'm not gonna wear that because you're gonna, and it's kind of sad because it's like they're just ruled by that fear of like I don't want to look bad on the internet or whatever. And
Interesting.
I also think that's a big part of your story is like, man, if you were born like 20 something years later or whatever and into the internet era, like I don't know what that looks like.
I don't either.
Maybe you can't get away with half the things you got away with, or maybe it gets worse. I don't know.
Right,
but it would have been
right.
different for sure.
A lot different.
Yeah.
A lot different.
You said something interesting in the documentary that I think kind of applies to that right there, where you were saying people don't think of you as a person. They think of you as an event in their life or something like that.
Or a concept or
Yeah, a concept,
or an
right.
idea or
And I learned about something similar recently, which is just person versus personality, which is a lot of like how people treat even, Twitter personalities or whatever it is, where you're a person versus your personality. And I was wondering if you felt that change like younger in your life, when people started associating you with something else. Like, is it only with the CBS interviews and stuff like that, or as a young person did you realize, oh, they don't treat me like a person, they treat me like a personality?
No, much younger. It would have only been not treated as my own person.
Okay.
Always son of, brother
I
of.
was saying,
But I think the person versus personality. I think that hit its zenith with the GMA piece.
Sure.
Even though I think there were. I think there were less extreme examples of the potential for it. Maybe in a few other interviews, There's a quick shot in the doc of me in that stupid striped jacket with the Dick Tracy hat.
What the
right?
fuck was that, bro?
Yeah, man.
I thought that was like a costume, and then it kept popping up. I was like, this is just how he dresses. I don't know.
There's in the photo insert section.
Yeah, which is cool, by the way.
I'm wearing that jacket and that hat, and I'm going like this to a 67 427 Stingray, right? And it's around 3 a.m. So
I think I remember in the clip in the doc with the interviewer asking you, I believe they're asking, are you living a calmer life these days?
and I talk about a pizza, Wolfgang Puck pizza, right? What the fuck was that?
But the camera was on the interviewer, and it was like, are you living a calm life these days? And then you hear your voice go, yes, but then the camera cuts to you. And
I'm in that
like,
outfit.
what is he wearing? Of course he's not living a calmer life. Look at the guy.
Yeah. That was the press junket. Do you remember those things?
Yeah.
Where you'd sit in the same chair and like
Everybody
35.
files
Oh my
in.
God. That was the press junket for Navy SEALs. No way.
You
Yeah.
dressed like that from Navy SEAL?
Well, I did. I never.
What an asshole.
I never made it home. I never made it home from that night. And I'm like, wow.
That's not like, hey, when I slept in my clothes and I got to repeat it and I'm wearing like khakis and a white shirt. You're wearing the most recognizable thing.
You were promoting Navy SEALs dressed like a guy who kidnaps dogs.
Pretty much. Yeah. And I'm like, oh shit, it's 8:00 already. I guess we just go straight there. I hope the X wears off by then. Yeah. And then we had a lunch break, and rather than trying to steal a nap or eat some actual food, I went to the mall next to the hotel and bought some jewelry and had a few drinks and came back. Didn't even think about maybe I should buy another jacket.
No, jewelry will calm this thing
Yeah,
down.
man. And they were like pinky rings and shit. What are we doing? I don't wear pinky rings,
Unbelievable.
right?
In the same vein of this whole conversation here, John Cryer said something in the doc where he believes that you don't believe that you deserve all of this. Is there truth to that, or is that
He's not wrong.
Yeah.
He's not wrong. I think having been through what I've been through and then getting on the other side of it, thankfully, right? I'm okay looking at whatever is in this third act, whatever comes out of that, is fucking deserved.
Yeah.
Well, because it's earned.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
but
Yeah,
that's what
for sure.
and comes with no apologies. You know, I spent my 50s apologizing.
Time to live now.
Yeah.
man, you know.
Hello.
Yeah.
I loved Cryer in the doc because I thought he added like a nice weight because
He really did, man.
He
Yeah.
was honest. Where I really loved in the beginning where he said something along the lines of, Charlie goes up and down, and I don't want to be part of another downswing. And
Right.
You can see, like, he meant that, where he's like, I
Oh,
hope
yeah.
it doesn't happen.
Oh, yeah.
But I do want to speak the truth here.
Sure.
And to me, I would love to talk about another friend in a second, but, like, it felt to me like John Cryer was a real friend. That you guys have been through a lot, and you guys definitely have your issues, and he has
Sure.
resentment for certain things.
Right,
But,
yeah.
like, it felt like you guys truly care about each other.
No,
I
it's
like
it's
that.
absolutely true. He had, I guess we could call it like edgy sincerity.
Yes, exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I didn't expect
Or
out of John Cryer.
Cautious,
I know he had
cautious,
that. Yeah.
cautious sincerity. You know. No,
Did Cindy-
he was on no one's payroll for that doc. You know what I'm saying?
That was John.
I'm just saying, it's like he was not there to like completely celebrate me.
Right.
I think he says that, doesn't he?
Yeah, no, he
was
does.
not there to tear me down.
Right.
Not there to tear
But,
And you know what?
um,
Same thing with Denise, where she was like, "I'm here to like tell the story. And,
Sure.
like, I want to be real about it."
Sure.
The way that woman talked, I can understand why. She just seems. She was like, "Yeah, otherwise this is just gonna be a fucking piece of shit." And you want it to be a fucking documentary. She was like so casual and
Yeah.
like speaking the truth, and I was like, I get
Yeah.
why that happened. You know, she seems like a cool girl.
But also to kind of say about the deserving aspect of it, those pitfalls and rises only happen because of your authenticity, and so like you do deserve it.
Interesting. Thank you.
Right? Like the only
Thank
time,
you.
the only reason you can get back is because you are so real and open and honest. Like
Right on.
people who hide
People love it.
don't get back.
Well, they're
Yeah,
not there, or they get back, but they're not welcomed back.
Yes.
You know?
And they get back with a lot of skeletons in the closet, and that whole time they're back, they're going, I hope you don't ask a fucking question. Right?
Yeah, because now if they find out now,
Right.
now it's 20 times worse than had I just said it.
Let me tell
10
you
years
something
ago,
right
right?
now. If Charlie Sheen has any more skeletons, you must be hiding some crazy. Because it's all. I mean, when I read that the Mexican cartel cut you off because the amount of drugs you were doing must have been to sell.
Yeah,
I mean, that's crazy.
it was nuts.
Like when
it
the
was
guys
nuts.
whose like their existence is knowing drugs, and they're like any amount that can't be for one human.
That kind of weight
Yeah,
has to
Literally,
be for
when-
distribution. Yeah, yeah.
When you're talking in normal people don't talk in kilos, Charlie.
I know,
Like I did
I
2
know.
kilos in 3 weeks. Like you do sound like a cartel member. It's
It
crazy.
was crazy.
I,
but that moment when Marco came to me, or Phil Hines Jr.,
Hines.
however you know
Won
him.
him at a raffle. Won him at a raffle.
Thank you. No one has mentioned that fucking line.
It's the first. I came in
funniest
today.
thing.
I was like, "You got it." Phil said, "I won him. I met him in a car wash." Charlie said, "I won him in a raffle."
That's like, and I thought, okay, what's like absurd, borderline offensive, but cool?
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know, a raffle, maybe?
It's kind of true. You hit the lottery in the sense you got like
Thank
one of the
you.
best drug dealers.
Thank you. Yeah.
DoorDash before it existed, man. It was fucking great.
That's so cool to hear the stuff that has just been completely.
Oh no, those are the things I jumped on.
Awesome.
Man. I got a
Thank
whole
you.
list of notes that was.
Thank you.
And then,
no,
and
that's
then
see, but that is so. That's like now I know that it really the effort that went into or the focus required to build some of that stuff on the page. To hear it back,
So worth
is the only. That's the only currency that registers.
Dude, do not,
You
do
know?
not ever doubt that for a second. Because
Thank you.
Anybody who read it, watched, whatever, and if they had any interest in you or invested in you or not trying to tear you down or whatever, if you just come in with an open mind and you read it, all of those things resonate. Like
That's
you can
amazing.
tell
Thank you.
The amount of real details and all that. Even just like you talked about your friends, where it was like Chris Penn and Miles C, right? It was
Right,
the name.
right,
It was
right,
like-
yeah.
And I'm thinking in my head, I'm like, oh, that would be my version of my buddy J Love and Wheezy, and like I just have all
Exactly.
these nicknames. It's like,
Exactly.
oh, yeah, and he said it best. The Super 8 films, you made like real
Unbelievable.
movies.
Those were all like I was blown away by the Super 8 footage. in the
Amazing.
stock. Like,
Thank you.
You guys as kids were like really going for it. There was the blood splatter of I think a knife or a ninja attack, and then
Yeah.
you had Sean Penn, Chris Penn, Clooney. Was that young
Clooney was
in
late.
Super
Clooney
8s?
was after we met on Grizzly 2.
Oh right.
Yeah.
Cinematic. Man. I'm hoping that Grizzly 2 rentals and streams go
you
through the
mean-
roof now.
Both you and Clooney are in Grizzly too.
Yes.
Get out of
Yeah.
town,
Yeah.
dude, really?
Yeah.
Best worst movie of all time.
George and I like met at the airport.
No
That's
way.
crazy.
Hey, Charlie. Hey, I'm George, and we like flew in coach.
Hey,
It's
I
in the
mean-
book, and we listened to the Beatles for 9 hours, hammered, and we both had earbuds in, but we're singing like at a volume that was not appropriate. And I do mention, and as George has a pretty good voice,
At least he didn't give up, pass on a movie that would have been a, international icon status.
At least he didn't. At least he didn't do that.
happen.
Yeah,
At least,
I know.
At least Grizzly 2 was worth it, man.
Yeah, how about that?
Thank God that you did go on and have the career you did, because you can kind of laugh about it now. But man, that would have been a tough one if you ended up being a struggling actor and you passed on the Karate Kid.
Wow, yeah.
That would
Yeah.
live with you for quite a while, I'd imagine.
I don't know that I would have lasted the entire shoot of Karate Kid.
Really?
I think that they might have just had seen something on the day that made sense for just that pocket of time.
I was gonna say, 'cause
but I didn't have any experience, man. And if you look at Macho's performance in that film, I mean, it is detailed
Right.
and
You need it.
nuanced,
You need experience.
and he's so comfortable in that role, even playing vulnerable and uncomfortable and all of the beats. I wouldn't have had a clue,
Right.
because you're talking about those Super 8s. That was essentially my resume. My resume was filled with lies. School plays. I wasn't even in the drama department. I didn't even know where that building was. And I'm like,
Yeah, that you weren't even doing it as like that's crazy.
it wasn't like none of it. I was playing baseball.
So you're just playing baseball. They're like, you want to play Daniel Russo?
Yeah, I mean that had to be some sort of proof to you that like I got some sort of it factor, because I've never fucking done this before, and directors are calling and agents are interested and all that stuff, right?
Or
I guess
what's-
your father maybe.
Or what's the other side of that? How did I fool them?
Yeah,
that
right.
spectacularly, right? And that
good actor.
that ties into that thing about not deserving stuff.
Mm.
That if you're involved in the type of charade that is effective, and your shell game keeps working, it can generate those feelings that John talked about.
And so
you
that was
know?
the second part of his comment, was that he thinks you don't deserve it, you believe you don't deserve it, so you self-sabotage, you tear it down. Is there sometimes I think people kind of make those narratives. It's like, I think, you had a drug problem and you were partying.
Sure.
And that's why it became hard to do your career professionally. Or was there something, do you think subconsciously, you're like, I'm going to go out, party, and miss the call time, or fuck up at work? Is there some level of that doing it on purpose?
I think those specific moments were kind of accidental.
Yeah.
I mean, accidental with an explanation,
Yeah,
But I don't know. I think just as a one big mashup, it fed different stomachs in that camel. And that's not an expression, but
Fed
We're
all
going metaphors today.
and they don't even have more. Do they have more than one stomach, or is that a cow?
That's a cow.
Yeah. Okay,
Cow
well,
is-
we'll adjust.
more,
it.
yeah.
We'll adjust the metaphor.
You said we're getting back
But
into the
camel
business.
sounds cooler, doesn't it? Yeah.
You're in a level you can say whatever you want, I think. If
I
you
appreciate
did an
that.
interview and said, hey, it's like feeding the 4 stomachs of a camel. People would be like, yep, all right. Charlie
He has
Sheen
a
says
4-stomached camel. Wow. Yeah. So, what were we just specifically?
Well, just that, like the idea of sabotaging versus
right,
was it
right,
accidental.
right,
Like
right.
when you stayed up late to look tired for breakfast or Ferris Bueller's
Ferris
Day Off,
Bueller, yeah.
Were you partying? Or
No.
you actually were like,
No.
you just had this dumb idea of
I
wanting
was
to make
just like, I used Ramon's cigarette ash for the audition. It was never an audition.
Yeah.
So imagine that. That's another piece of it. I'm
Right.
like, I'm ready to, I've got the thing memorized, and there's John Hughes, and he's
it
like,
to you.
oh, yeah, whatever, kid, I'll see you in a week,
Yeah.
Okay. So I just thought, now I had a whole week to obsess about what I was gonna do or supposed to do with that scene, and just thought, all right, let's try this, because Sean, who's 5 years older, was already killing it. He did Bad Boys, he did big films, Fast Times, and his whole thing was method. And you could tell, like, there'd be a party at the penthouse, and however Sean was behaving, if he was, like, really friendly, he was doing a comedy. If he was a fucking dick, he was doing a drama. And he lived it.
Yeah.
Like mean to his parents. Right? I never had that in me.
Yeah.
So I just thought, all right, I'm going to borrow a little bit for the Sean recipe,
Wait, so even growing up, you're 11 years old. Your father's acting. Francis Ford Coppola is hanging out at the house. It still was not getting instilled in you, this whole acting, all that.
The fruits of it were,
Sure.
And he had a party one night, and it was an adult thing, and we weren't told stay in your rooms. The house wasn't like that, but it was kind of recommended that just be better if. We just weren't a part of it,
Yeah.
But then in the middle of one of those gatherings, Dad comes and knocks on the door with Steve and Cindy Garvey. You know what I'm saying?
Just sure.
Nice to meet you. Hey. So
I like this.
things like that, just kind of seeing the kind of lifestyle that could come as a result of being successful, even moderately successful.
Right.
I actually just read Josh Brolin's memoirs, and
I started it, and then had to start this instead. Yeah, but I really liked what I read.
He had a very cool story about kind of a similar thing to you, where when he was a young kid, and his father brought over Marlon Brando and
Christ.
Marlon Brando's wife, whoever she was at the time, John Travolta and Travolta's wife at the time, and Marlon Brando cut his leg, and then Travolta healed it with Scientology. And he was like, so I realized pretty that young that LA was a wild place.
Wow. Did he witness the actual healing?
I don't think it was a technical
Probably not,
healing.
because that's not real.
Well, I mean,
doctor would have
just that
considered it healed.
detail. Just that detail. Yeah, but
That's fiction.
did the bleeding stop?
I don't think so. I think he was kind of just saying he was rubbing his hand over it, and he was just like, what is happening right now?
Okay.
Yeah, you were in Hollywood, right out of the gates. Let me ask you about the name change. I haven't,
Sure.
Because I have been following all your media, and I've either missed it or maybe you haven't talked about it much. But was that and the fact that you and your father did, and then Emilio didn't, and was that just talk to me about that, because that I feel like that's something that could have maybe things would have been totally different if you were Carlos Estevez.
Interesting. Yeah. Well, I had been Charlie for a long time. Because I had an uncle Carlos.
Okay, so
so
Charlie was already part of your regular life.
Yes.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah, Charlie from age 6. Yeah.
When I'm listening to the book and stuff, though, when you have an inner monologue, you often say Carlos. Was that for a dramatic effect, or is that how you think of yourself?
That's me talking to the child.
Okay.
That's
Yeah,
me,
interesting.
I think I say one time, relax, Carlos, we've been here before.
Yes.
Yeah, that's just trying to...
really go back to the beginning.
Or make sure that the kid is okay. You know.
Interesting.
But yeah, no, I just Emilio had already gone with Estevez, and I just think Emilio Estevez has a great ring to it. And I just liked the sound of Charlie Sheen better.
Yeah.
I thought it'd be easier to remember.
You're both right, by the way.
Yeah,
you both made the exact
Thank
right
you.
choice.
Thank you.
Dude, what if if you think what would you say? I guess your father would be Apocalypse Now and West Wing, right? And you have.
He'd also have Badlands.
So my question was going to be, what would you consider all of your top projects? Because in my mind, it would be West Wing and Apocalypse Now. You're probably Platoon and 2.5 Men, although you've got a few to choose from. And then he's got Ferris Bueller or
Breakfast Club, yeah.
and Mighty Ducks. So
Right,
you guys
right.
all have iconic. at least a couple iconic pieces.
Kind of a trip, yeah. I would like to be remembered for Major League. You know,
That's mine.
I mean,
I know what mine is. Like,
I don't ever like if I'm flipping channels. Nobody flips channels, but you know what I'm saying.
sure.
If I'm scanning channels, and it's on, I'll stop.
Really?
It's the only film. It's the only film. There was one time when Platoon was on, and it was only I stopped because I was curious about something, just a technicality in a particular scene, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But I wasn't like, oh, let me get emotionally invested in something I've already done where I know the ending.
Right.
yeah, right.
But Major League is. I'm not saying I'm not saying Major League is on par with Jaws, because when you're flipping and you find Jaws, you're watching till the end.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if you show up at the 4th of July or the opening scene, right?
yeah, you're
So,
watching.
but that's I don't revisit a lot of stuff, but I'm proud of that. I'm proud of Platoon. I think there's things.
Sorry to interrupt.
No, it's all right.
I was just gonna say, is your hesitancy to revisit because you don't want to think about the headspace you were in while filming, or is it just like you have other interests?
I know I could do it better now.
You do better now, yeah.
Yeah, and
You
it's
don't wanna see
it's
yourself doing shit.
frustrating. And I get that it represents that moment in time, and it's you know, captured then and there for those reasons.
Mm-hmm.
But you want to fucking change it, man, and you can't. That was what was interesting about 2.5, or even some of Spin City, was watching an episode and seeing something I didn't like, or a color that, you know, I didn't wear well. And then the next week, literally like 6 days later, I have a chance to improve on it.
Yeah.
You know? And that you can't get that with a movie.
That's very
Right.
cool.
You get one shot, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then you see it 9 months later.
And especially sitcoms back then, you know, 24 episodes a season. So
Yeah.
like it's a lot. By the way, pretty nice when you're making 2 million episodes. When I heard 2 million episodes, I was thinking kind of this day's terms, and I was like, wait a minute, that's like $50 million.
Yeah, but that's the season I flamed out.
Oh no.
Think about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Good
I mean,
timing, Sheen.
couldn't have done that when you were making $100K an episode.
Holy
You had to do it making-
shit,
But
right?
of course, because those two things go together.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
I
Like
guess.
that level of success and money is when you're going to flame out, you know?
Yeah,
I thought that
no.
was very cool that, by all accounts, from Denise, almost everybody was like, I should have never come back for that season or done anger management, whatever it was, where it was like, I'm not in a good space, and they're just throwing money at you, and it makes you realize how much some of those people are just like, we're just using you. We just want more episodes, more series. whatever.
Sure. At that point, it's all about commerce. You
Yeah.
know? That's why in the book, when I talk about Les Moonves coming to my house,
Mm-hmm.
right? And when I told him, you know, I appreciated the offer for the jet to go to rehab, and I said, I'm going to do this at home and do it by myself. Don't worry, I got this, right? And I described, I don't know it verbatim, but I described the look on his face as you know, it was a look of sadness that had nothing to do with commerce. Mm-hmm. And I described that man as a good dude and a fucking gangster. Yeah. Waiting to get yelled at about that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because he got sent to the cornfield
Oh, did he?
for whatever.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
Was the negotiation you guys had at your house, I think, where he came out, you guys are speaking to the media, and he's calling you his cleanup hitter. Right before that, were you guys kind of fighting? Because I just noticed his body language in that. I was like, oh, he does not seem happy with Charlie Sheen right now.
Interesting.
I guess that could be because of everything that was happening at the time.
I think it might have predated the whole the big mess. Because I think that it looked like, was there like a party in the background?
Yes.
I think it would have been at like one of the upfronts.
Oh, okay.
You know, one of the TV event things,
Yeah.
you know, or it would have been something, I don't know, celebrating 100 episodes or something like that. So I think in that we were still
good.
cool.
I must
Yeah.
have misread it. I thought he kind of just got away fast, and I was like, oh, I noticed that. But I was wrong.
Interesting.
I think it's a testament.
you
though,
could
like,
be right. Yeah.
It seems like all these people connected with you enough that, yeah, there's business and commerce, but John Cryer, your ex-wives, like these people are still invested in you as a person. I think there's a reason why. You know?
I'll take it.
Yeah,
I'll take it. No,
How-
that feels really good.
How is
you know?
how's your relationship with your dad?
It's excellent.
Yeah, like I was wondering because I have kids myself, and
How many do you have?
I have 2. I have a boy and a girl.
Oh wow.
10 and 8. So
Okay.
hopefully they're not mixed up with drugs yet. I don't know. But like I'm sure there was the intervention and the efforts when he kind of went public for you while you were in the hospital.
Sure.
And then ups and downs and relapses. I'm sure that's like taxing. But did it ever reach a breaking point, or was it you guys were always still like family and love?
That particular thing, that moment that you point out, we didn't speak for about 3 months.
Wow.
And when I was in rehab, I can't remember this dude's name, but I was really bitter just about family stuff, And he was bitter about his family, and he was like, well, fuck it, I'm going to Hawaii for Christmas. And I'm like, well, fuck it, I'm going with you. And I still am wearing an ankle bracelet. I'm on fucking probation. I'm not going anywhere, right? But I made a plan with that dude. We were spending Christmas away from our families together in Hawaii. I'd known him for an hour. Hopefully somebody's bringing the dope.
Bro, the bag coming over like the wall.
How about that?
That's like straight out of a movie itself.
Yeah.
Like throwing a bag into the mud and you're trying to get high in rehab. Or how about? Do you think if you didn't show up to rehab that day, would you have been a man of your word and given that girl $1 million?
Oof.
Or were you like you actually knew I'm coming back tomorrow?
I knew I was coming back,
Okay.
and I just there was no chance I was going to be late, because let's say I was 10 minutes late, and she was into she wanted it prorated. Right?
Yeah, $100,000
Then it's
over
like,
here.
or 50. Yeah. And she would have had a case.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a binding contract.
I mean, we shook on it. Yeah.
That must have been, as you described, just the worst, like the best and the worst. Like, oh, good, he's come back to get healthy.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
$1 would've been
Yeah,
nice.
that look on her face was just all of that. It was awesome.
Have you ever made an offer like that you had to make good on?
Gosh.
Great question.
I mean, I don't think she'll be too mad. I wrote a check to Denise once for $1 million on her birthday, kind of as a joke, and she kept it not as a joke. And then
I would say that's not a joke I'm laughing at.
And then it's like a month later, fucking cashed it, And I was
you
like,
married at the time?
I don't know.
I don't know what's funnier. If they are, they are.
Right? Yeah. Which makes it sting more. But if I'm on the other side of that, I'm probably cashing that check.
Yeah.
Right.
At the very least, we'll have a discussion after I cash it, but I'm getting that in the bank.
Right. She could have let me know just maybe on the day of. Hey, you sound like you're driving somewhere. Yeah, to the bank actually. And so
You're about to be down 7 figures.
But I guess there's gratitude that there was enough money in that account for that check not to bounce.
Right.
Yeah.
You're doing pretty good if you can accidentally give people $1 million.
But it was more about the gesture in the moment.
yeah.
It might have been her birthday. I don't know.
I have you said something in the doc that I understand this question is a little personal, so if you don't want to answer, that's fine.
It's all right.
But you said Heidi Fleiss cost you $100 million.
Yeah, that was an exaggeration.
Yeah,
right?
total exaggeration.
Okay, but
that's like the 47,000 women. Yeah, man.
But again,
Yeah.
it did give me pause where I was like, did somehow he run up 9 figures?
But my question was more not even really about Heidi and her stuff. It was more just like, how much money do you think you've spent in your life?
Wow, that's a good question.
Homes, drugs, women, clothes, trips.
I mean, I think I'm probably 50-50 with the government. Just saying. I don't know. Because we'll guess, and then they'll do that thing.
Yeah.
You'll have to defend.
I'm there, man.
And then
And
fucking
that's how the internet works.
Yeah.
It's a snake eating its own tail.
yeah. And then Tim will call me. I'm like, all right, I'll fly back to New York. Jesus Christ.
You know what, Charlie? Let's do a little viral moment here. Write me a check for $1 million.
Oh my God.
We'll see if I cash it or not. I don't know, man.
I have a debit card. That is it.
I have a friend who has gotten sober and stuff like that, and he has a very funny story. I was asking him about his apartment, and he says he doesn't even have a couch. And I was like, dude, why don't you even have a couch? And he went, I'm sober now. If I have enough people in my house that they need to sit down, I'm doing something bad.
Wow.
I was like,
That's
is
interesting.
a crazy
But what about
dedication.
like when he's alone and wants to watch the ball game? Does he?
Just sitting on the floor.
Yeah.
Does he have a Barca lounger or
He's
something?
got one chair.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. But that's pretty interesting.
It was,
But it makes sense, right? Like you were clean at one point. Someone just showed up at your house with some crack, I believe it was, and it's like you were trying to do good, but all of a sudden, it falls in your lap, and it's like that made me realize, like, boy, you can do your best, but other people are not serious
Right.
with it or taking that into account, and
Right.
you're right back in the fire.
Yeah, but today's plan kind of accounts for that in advance.
Yeah,
You know
yeah,
what I'm
yeah,
saying? And it's
Keep the
not
circle
like
tight.
not like I'm on the lookout or I'm in a constant state of alert, but just kind of just knowing if that, first of all, why am I there? Start with that.
Yep.
That one's on me, right? And then I've already seen the scenario happen with the much better result.
Right.
You know.
All right, put the crack away. He doesn't
Yeah.
Oh shit! Shit!
Towards the end of the documentary, and I was talking about this recently, watching an episode of White Lotus, and someone in it is a sex addict, and I was thinking, what an awful addiction, because it's something you have to do, right? Like to live, you must have sex. It's
Right,
just kind of
right,
part
right.
of being a person, but to also still be addicted and having to keep that addiction at bay. Which one would you say was your most difficult dragon to kill, or dragon to slay, so to speak?
Booze.
That's what I thought you said at the end of the documentary. Yeah, and that surprised me.
Yeah, booze.
So it was drugs, booze, sex for you were like the three that you were. Did you ever have gambling or anything like that?
Oh yeah.
Yeah? So you
yeah.
did well, okay.
But I retired from gambling. Semi beaten into submission, but I'm not like a recovered fucking gambler. No, I went out on a big win.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was the Pacquiao fight. It was in 2009, December of 2009, against De La Hoya.
Yeah.
And I was stuck bad, like head to Mexico bad.
No shit.
And some dude like said, that this is a surefire bet, and anybody that wants to bet a Denise birthday size check on that, I'm taking those wagers. And I was like, well, go fuck yourself, because I had a dream 2 nights ago that Pacquiao knocked him out in the 8th round. Yeah.
There you
Is
go.
that what
Wow.
happened?
Yeah.
Nailed it.
So I bet money I didn't have, and just based on a dream, and he TKO'd in the 8th round.
Really?
Yeah. So I went out on a win.
Was that dream sober or fucked up?
It was somewhere between the two. Yeah. And no, and I went out on a win, but during the win felt nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't feel that thing. And I was like,
Good
okay,
to go.
all right. So unless my kids are the wager, right?
There's nothing.
There's nothing there. Yeah. And I was like, cool. So it was just like, it was a gift.
That was just your done.
You know?
Everything else
yeah.
was
Yeah. I
vital.
just paid the guy and
Crazy.
landed the plane, Yeah, man.
George,
It's a
turn
trip.
George off and landed the plane.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
There, you gotta wrap up. I
Oh,
could talk to you
shit.
for like 6 more hours, but I do just want to quickly say, because I had a couple notes here.
While you're looking it up, I just want to say shout out Tony Todd. What
Tony
a gangster.
Yeah, man.
Tony,
Yeah,
what a
that
gang.
guy.
The fact that you have a
That
friend
guy.
who's been in your life for 5 generations, never touched a drug, had 1 sip of alcohol,
It's
and seems like the sweetest guy in the
crazy.
world. Is like, what is he thinking? Like were you calling him fucked up? You're like, Tony. Like, how did that friendship survive? You
It
lived such
just,
different lives.
he just one of my most favorite people
He's
to
unbelievable.
have around in any situation, And
Those are good
I,
people to have.
I just figured if he saw something he didn't want to be a part of, he could leave the room.
Yeah.
Right? He's an adult. But I also didn't do a lot of the hard stuff in front of him. Just out of respect,
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, it does seem
Yeah.
like you had a code. Despite everything, there were certain rules. You didn't drive drunk. You wouldn't do certain things. It's
Yeah.
like, and I there was a couple things, and then we'll let you go. You said a couple things that really resonate. Just simple stuff. A man has to know his limitations. You said consequences of autonomy and the freedom of risk. And those were those were 2 concepts where I was like, we're getting into some deep shit here. Yeah,
Right.
it's drugs and partying and like fun stories, but also there's some real shit here.
Oh, that's
man.
the thing I talk about. Telling Dad I'm not taking his advice the
Yes.
3rd time. Yeah.
I mean, there's some really cool stuff. And my favorite part of all of this is you told your story. you explained, you didn't have excuses, but you were like, it's not an excuse, but there's a reason why a relapse or something bad happened. And then despite all of this, I don't think there's one person you tore down in any way.
No.
Never really spoke bad about an ex or somebody who screwed you over or a drug dealer or anything. Like, you told your story, sympathetic side of things, but never, prop yourself up a little bit without tearing people down. And it makes it so much easier to enjoy and understand when it's like, all right, he's not doing a gossipy tell-all.
Yeah.
He's not harming anybody else. It seems like even you and Heidi Fleiss could go out to dinner right now and just like be cool.
I mean, I'm open to it. And it's and what I say in the book, and since that day we've never spoken since, or that thing, right? And she was at the premiere for the doc.
Oh, wow.
And I didn't even get a chance to say hello.
Oh, no way.
So we've been in the same place now, like a month ago. But that line in the book still holds true. And I wanted to have some interaction with her at the premiere.
Well,
because her version of events in the doc,
not correct.
She left out that big middle piece.
Was it the pussy ass bitch part? Well, here's what you should do.
That part's fine. It's the tax evasion shit. She just blew past.
Do the Charlie Sheen show. Episode 1 of the podcast with Heidi Fleiss.
Wow.
Do it under the Barstool Sports umbrella.
Wow. She's the first guest?
I think it would do numbers.
She's actually this guy's. Bring her out right now.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. That would be awesome. Is Tim going to join us?
So we got a quick couple minutes because they're going to kill me otherwise. But you're the man who made this all happen, so I owe you a huge debt of gratitude. And also just some of the shit. This guy's crazy too.
Oh, yeah.
Living in Montana with the generator, doesn't know about internet until he's 18. He's got the beat-off cabin. He's got it all, man.
I told about the beat-off cabin.
Oh, okay. Wow.
Yeah.
But this is another, it seems like you surround yourself with some good people, man. He's a good dude.
It's one of the finest.
Thanks, sir.
This gentleman, yes, indeed. Yeah, and we met through Rob
O'Neill, yeah.
Rob O'Neill.
That's right.
We actually called you from Barstool Sports.
Oh my
It was
gosh!
2020, and they filmed it.
Wow.
He was explaining how much Navy SEALs has had an impact on the Navy and the military. It's like crazy.
Pretty crazy. Yeah.
I know all of the movies, right? But I know Navy SEALs, but I wouldn't think of that as one of your most impactful. But here it is, and you got SEALs sending you cigars.
I know, and Jack Carr the other day talking about it, and them being on a mission and quoting the movie.
It's crazy.
Outside the compound.
Yeah.
On the night
As
they're gonna breach. Yeah. It's like wow, I was a part of that.
No.
It's
And
surreal.
directing his music video, you got
Mostly
that.
Stone,
Yeah.
Got the country career up, and it's cool. I mean, it's got to be cool for you to have him direct, and then you're doing the music thing. It's cool when artistic people and creative people meet up, and there's like you said, that normal, you guys are normal guys, and it just clicks and works.
Absolutely. Yeah. And Eddie Braun bought the car from Navy SEALs.
Oh,
the red. It's a Cutlass.
Old Cutlass.
It's, yeah. And so I bought it, restored it, put a big engine in it, sold it to Eddie. Might have shaken him down a little bit, whatever. And then we used that car in that video.
wow.
That's the car. That's the car from the movie in the video.
When we watched
Yeah.
the BTS, we almost rolled the car over.
That would've
Eddie
been
put
great,
a
to be honest.
GoPro on the front and an iPad laying under controlling the pedals with his hands. Remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there was a 2-second delay from the GoPro to the
Yes.
iPad.
He wasn't seeing real time.
He couldn't
I'm looking up at a drone going, I'm mostly, and I started yelling, left! Because he's going right for this ditch and he hits it. The car almost
Holy
flipped
shit.
over.
It's on film. Yeah.
It's on the BTS
Yeah.
reel. It's
Very
pretty
cool.
wild.
And I'm directing, and I'm looking at the where they're what the road they've chosen,
Yeah.
and I'm like, isn't there there's another road right there?
Yeah.
It's in shade. We want the sunlight. And I'm like, yeah, but there's that thing with the big pipe.
Culvert.
Yeah.
Culvert. It was like a pretty good drop. And then the cops showed up right afterwards because a crazy old country gal had called the cops and said, there's a car driving itself. Which it was.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Wasn't wrong.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's crazy.
Wow. So that was actually the first autonomous vehicle
Yeah,
when
that
you
was
think
awesome.
about
You
it.
guys are basically Elon Musk.
Yeah, man. Wow.
Well, I appreciate you, dude.
But no, just the way this came together, I
So
think is really cool.
Yeah.
And I think it just speaks to, you know, when somebody does something that really matters, that really touches you, or really is impactful, or just is just done out of goodness, it's important to reach out, man.
Dude.
I mean, right?
Thank you, brother.
Yeah.
I mean, no one's ever really done that in like my
That's-
whole career. And
wow.
like, the fact that you, of all people, are the first one to do it is like, and I don't even consider it's not like I did something, you know, heroic. I just made my video, but the fact that you took the time is awesome, man.
Oh,
really
I was
appreciate
watching it like, oh hell yeah, go get him, my man.
I know. He said, for better or worse, people tell me I get my news from you, and I'm like, I don't know if that's a good thing, but I'll take
All
it.
the
It's
other
good
news
for
bums
business.
me out that I watch his shit.
Did you see the chopper thing the other day?
What?
The chopper thing the other day? The helicopter?
That was a good one.
It was
too.
nuts, right?
Who would have thought that flying helicopters like right over people?
Something could go wrong. Yeah, Jesus.
All right, brother, you got to get going. On to the next stop.
Okay,
But
this
anytime
was-
you want, come on back. Whatever you need.
This
we
was
got
awesome.
your back, dude.
This is awesome. Thank you.
man.
Thank you.